And it looks like we're live. Thank you all for joining me. Those of you watching this back, watching live right now, I appreciate all of you. What a weekend. What a weekend. I'll just start by saying that. Oh my gosh. But something really exciting happened right as I was leaving. That GameStop was opening a new store in Milan, Italy. Not just a regular old GameStop store, a three-level store with a focus on pro gaming, pro streamer, and home, right? So I'm going to get more into that as this goes on. But I really found that interesting. And as I'm looking at it more and thinking about it more, I'm like, damn, this could be pretty big. So we'll see what happens. But just allow me to get settled here. Appreciate all of you. I'm going to go ahead and tweet out the stream. Danny, appreciate you. Saw the tag on Twitter. Thank you. I'll tweet this out right now. All right, tweet you out, bro. Hey, good look, Danzo. Good looks. But yeah, let me just get this out here. But damn, my luggage still is not with me. My carry-on did not make it home. I did by like 2 minutes. I made it on the last flight. And if I didn't go to work today, I would have felt so bad. It was genuinely probably the busiest day since I've worked there. Maybe top five, whatever. But the big point, right, or reason was because it's like IRA contribution deadline for 2022. You know, you can do catch-up contributions up until usually April 15th. For whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure. This year it fell on April 18th, which is tomorrow. So tons of people calling in today and like, how do I make an IRA contribution? How do I make an IRA contribution? What do I have to do? Like, what are the delivery instructions? Like, what are the steps? Like, if I send a check, is it still going to be okay? Like, all these different questions non-stop. And like, every department was getting these questions. Anyone, because every department, I'm not going to explain my whole everything, but basically, I'm not like specialized in that, like explaining that type of thing. It's like a general like support call, and I'm in transfers, but every department was getting calls endlessly about this today because everybody's trying to do it, and it was just nuts. It was absolutely so busy. I would have felt horrible if I didn't go in, but I'm just grateful I made it home. It was literally a full sprint through Dallas Airport. I almost ran a little kid over. I hit like three people in my bag. I was like, sorry, excuse me, excuse me. Someone's like walking by slow. I'm like, excuse me, in a rush. Like I'll be like going up the escalator. Literally made it by like this much, but because I rushed so much on my connector, I didn't even make it to my my bag didn't even make it on the next plane. So the first plane, me and my buddy are about to board, and I'm like, yo, we're not sure at this point if we're gonna make the connector to get to where we need to go, San Antonio, to visit the homie Eric. Shout out to you, Eric, and shout out to him. He's serving in the Air Force right now. Appreciate. But we're like, okay, Eric, I don't know what's gonna happen. We might get there tomorrow. We might get stuck in Houston for a night. Our first connector is in Houston, or so like we're getting there, and they take our bags right away for that one. So they send it right there. So like, all right, we got to get there. So we booked it when we got to that one, but it was just straight across in the terminal. Same terminal. It was boom, easy, right? So I was like, okay. And we run across, we get there, and it's totally fine, right? I'm like, I can't believe this worked out. So we get there, it's fine. The bag gets through, we need to be, boom. So going there, great time. But let me fix the chat real quick and also check in with you guys. It's good, bro, at the gym, so won't be chatting much. Just still listening, though. It's all good, Ryan. I appreciate that. I'm just reading a little bit of stories, a little bit of GameStop coverage tonight. The Italy flagship looked amazing. That's awesome, Crayon Green. Thank you for being here. And I am going to go ahead and look at that as well. I'm going to pull that up. I forgot. I still got to tweet this out. I always say that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to tweet it out. And then I start rambling. Ugh, I always see this one account. A couple accounts on my feed, and I'm always like, but yeah, I should probably talk a little more GameStop, and then I'll get to the finale of that story. I'll leave it like a cliffhanger because the way back was even crazier. Share to Twitter. No, why do I keep pressing the wrong button? But I'm really trying not to spread myself too thin anymore because I really want to focus more on YouTube. And every time I try and do too much, not to say I shouldn't travel sometimes, but I don't know, I just got to really just keep trying to lock in. Like I was during the trip here and there, I was like, I got to read about what's going on in the game. So like, what's going on with this like Milan store? And I was actually reading some old due diligence on the plane a little bit. I have a couple of them up. I'll show you. Just like some small stuff, nothing like major. But it's nice to go back once in a while and like when you're like, huh, that was important information or interesting information at that point in time. How did I feel at that point in time? That's mostly what I was reading it. So I like downloaded some of them who would put them in PDF form I realize, yeah, everyone's probably sick of staring at me like this. Let's pull up the article at least while I'm getting this out here. See, these are like got some PDFs of the old DD. Where am I here? Yes. So Italy24.press. This was the only like article I saw on it, and I found it funny, right? When you go on Yahoo Finance, they just so happen that no articles on it, right? Isn't that interesting? I mean, and always the stupidest articles under GME. Like, you just have to laugh at that. No volume today. Hi, all. Jackson's, thank you for being here. And I'm glad you brought that up because this was like the third lowest volume day of all time, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I saw that in my Twitter feed. Yeah, only 2 million. Incredibly low. And I really just think over time, I feel like I've been saying this for a while. Like, I'm also like a broken record. I'm like, volume will just keep declining with DRS. I feel like I maybe haven't said it in a while, but I remember saying it a lot a while back. And then it kind of slowed down, so I was like, ah. But generally, right, like when you zoom out and like Yahoo Finance is not the best thing for this, we don't see massive volume spikes. And we do, we see like a huge move. And that wasn't even like that much volume relative to what we saw back at this point in time. And this was prior to any shares being directly registered. So that's just some food for thought. But finally got the stream tweeted out here. All right, quick coffee sip. I'm definitely feeling bullish on GameStop. I forgot who got me this gift. Someone did. Okay. So let's quickly get the chat going here. Whoop. Okay, I think that's good. Well, no. Okay. Was I using this one last time? Nope. Yep. It must have been the other one. Okay. But what did I want to show real quick? So low volume. That's definitely important. But looking here at this article. So, oh yeah, what I wanted to show is there's nobody in here, right, writing about it. No order checking in on meme stocks. Stocks.com features insights on markets, GameStop, AssetMark Financial, Humana, ICF International. So basically just associating with other names, GameStop GME dips more than broader markets. What you should know. What is this picture? Like, what is that even? Gold? Like, when do you see other stocks, right? Pick up any other name. Look it up on Yahoo Finance right now. When do you see a chest of gold? Like, I feel like that's like a weird like psychology trick just to like make people keep thinking like it's just a meme stock. It's just this like unsubconsciously. Is that crazy? I mean, I almost feel like with an image like that, like what is that? Like what for this article? Like it's such a weird like Reddit and like look at like I mean this is just I guess they do funky art for all of them, but I feel like especially with the GameStop ones, they just make it look so stupid. And then this is like a rare like pretty simple article, just like, yep, you bought them, and I mean, I'm not even gonna click. I don't want to give it the click, but it probably is like, oh yeah, it's bad or something stupid. But I've said it many times, and I'll say it once more. Insiders can sell for a multitude of reasons, but there's only one reason they buy. Yeah, so no articles there. So looking at this article, this is very interesting because GameStop right now is closing stores internationally. I think it's, I could be wrong. Forgive me. I forgot off the top of my head. I believe it's, I'll just check right now. It's in the 10K. Or, no, it's in my marked up 10K. I don't feel like finding that in my folder. But they're closing stores, majority, I believe, in Germany, completely shutting down. But basically, they are closing other international stores. So this is an interesting move. It's like, look, they're going to expand into Italy and invest in its market, making it the main market of the whole EMEA region. So it's an interesting move, but when you look at the full story here, it's more than just like a regular store. So today they opened their first Milan flagship store. It's a shop located in the city via Turin 949. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Stone's throw from the Duomo. It will be a different store from those we are used to, frequently designed to involve customers and reach them in an innovative way. The new flagship store, in fact, offers a variety of experiences from spaces to try products with a wide choice of items, offers a different shopping experience. The store allows customers to discover the world of gaming in ways never experienced before. I think that's referencing Web3. That's what that tells me. Maybe some more virtual reality type of things. I mean, I feel like stores, especially a store like GameStop, it would make sense for them to have that. Gaming in the broadest sense, as both the latest video game consoles will be available, but also a large selection of board games. So I would imagine board games are have pretty decent margins. I mean, let's see what ChatGPT says about that. I like to always type in random stuff there. Oh man, I gotta log in again though. We're gonna see. I think I did it with this one. Question is, what did I make the password, and is it gonna show it? All right, I'm gonna have to check back on that. Okay, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to go looking for it now. But where was I here? You have to I mean, because I would just search on Google, right? But I feel like it's just not good sources, and I really like ChatGPT for searching up questions like that because I'll take it with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna go like, oh yeah, the robot's correct, but what it's doing is it's kind of like sourcing a lot of information into one, so you can be okay. Well, this is the general like idea of it and very general, but then I would want to actually look at what games GameStop winds up selling to do like a good analysis. And maybe we could do that one day on a stream, right? Maybe that's an idea. Like look into the actual games they're selling that are in the store and then start selling more consistently over time and look at the average margin of like that type of game. I mean, of course we'd have to see if we could find that information, but all just brainstorms here. And it's interesting because board game is a pretty selective like category within a category, if that makes sense. But I think it's more than that because it's really about like collectibles. I think kids' items could certainly be there. And it's really about foot traffic, right? Like, let me keep reading here. In addition, the store offers many interactive opportunities ranging from test areas to virtual reality experiences. So, yeah, foot traffic would be good for them because these things will bring in people and then that'll boost sales ideally because the more time you spend in the store, more likely you are to buy something. Theoretically, I would think on a very, very simple psychological level, or just in general, it's bringing more people in than if you didn't have these different things. And then if you can find a way to monetize these in some ways, maybe some partnerships where some companies that want to get some attention, they can pay GameStop in some way or give them something in return for having these experiences in the stores. I would wonder if that could be a way they could leverage their name and like terms of partnerships. Again, guys, all just brainstorms here. Definitely let me know what you think in the chat if you have any thoughts. In addition, interesting. Double in addition there. A shopping related features, this store will host many events during the year. So if anybody's out there in Italy or has any information about anything going on there, like definitely share it because I'm definitely trying to see what's going to happen with the store over time. What's the average day like? I mean, as much as I can see, I want to know if that makes sense. GameStop's flagship store will develop into 3 different levels. In the basement, there will be a gaming area where it's possible to try out the newest video games. So that's going to be pretty dope. I think that would definitely bring a lot of people in because if you're curious about a game. On the first floor, there's a 270-degree LED or degree. I guess just like massive wall created to offer an immersive experience. Finally, on the second floor, there's sales area and is completely renovated. For the first time, GameStop has created 3 different sections dedicated to different customers, namely pro gaming, pro streamer, and home. So from my time at Marshalls, I remember like seeing the numbers. Like they would show me the numbers of like our store versus our region and then our like sector or something like that, and then the store as a whole. There was like average numbers, and based on the category, like certain categories, like it was like the average margin of per category within these. Like from home, it would be like the home category, then categories within the home category. Certain items would have higher margins, but generally, what I'm trying to say here is like looking at those numbers, and it would be like, okay, well, what regions have it here, what regions have it there, and it was like a little bit confusing because Marshalls like in TJX they do things pretty strange. Like it's very like pen and paper. The computers are literally like 1995. The registers are from like 2000, and like their whole business just put stuff out, buy, 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 buy. People just buy. So it's different. But where I'm going with this is I remember being taught and like seeing the numbers that home items generally have higher margins because they are selling for higher price points, but it may cost more to make them, but generally they're able to sell them for more for that reasons. Whereas like clothing's very competitive and like Marshalls has like a lot of pills and stuff. I don't know if that exactly makes sense. And I didn't have fantastic like analysis of the numbers at the time. I was younger. And also that wasn't like my main thing. They just like showed me to show me. I was just like in meetings, like if I had to like cover for someone, because that wasn't my role. But where I'm going with all this, and I've looked into collectibles on GameStop, and they do have higher margins generally, just generally speaking. So I think it would be the same for like home items and board games. And Mahari, thank you for being here. See you in the chat out there. On the first floor, yeah. So the second floor there'll be a sales area. In this case, completely renovated. Oh, yeah, I already said this. Okay. So this way, customers can find the perfect product for their needs, whether it's a gaming monitor for their esports enthusiast, a streaming microphone for the professional streamer, or a comfortable gaming chair for the everyday user. You'll find it all. There will be offers related to Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. So that's a very specific thing. I don't know if it's just because whoever wrote this article, but that's interesting. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. If there's some kind of partnership there, maybe. And I think esports that mentions pretty cool. I mean, again, this is just one article. It does take it with a grain of salt, I feel like, but it's definitely interesting to see these things, and it at least has a little bit of coverage locally. That's nice. For the company, the store represents the will to expand in Italy and invest in the market, making it to the main market for the whole EMEA region. For the occasion, GameStop planned a weekend full of events, personalities, and events. It begins today with the music of Cannabit and ends Sunday with Queen Yorga and Martix. All the details of the inauguration can be found on the GameStop Italia Facebook page. Will you take a look? Sure. Let's see what they had on there. Big renovation to GME, relay bullish. Hope the ones in the USA do this quickly. Honestly, Danzo, it would make sense if this is where they're going with things, because I feel like it's better to have less stores and like strong stores with things that people actually want to go to. Like I know I would definitely go, and I really think that's where it matters with the brand passion. It's not just like any store. There's lots of people like myself as an individual that would be like, "Yo, we're not doing anything tonight, guys. Want to go stop by the GameStop store just cause like if we're just doing nothing." I mean, I feel like that's not as much now for me. Like I'm not like in college anymore. That was more of a college vibe. But there's definitely still nights like that where I'm just chilling with people. Like we don't want to just necessarily get like shit faced. Maybe we're just chilling. Like yeah, let's just go to the mall. Whatever. So I would be like, hey, I like GameStop. You guys want to stop there? Like stuff like that. And I feel like that's really strength in the brand. And then also, you like I would bring my friends. Maybe my other friends are like I wouldn't really go to GameStop, but Noah fucking loves GameStop. I'll go with him, right? Stuff like that. So I'm not gonna be able to read this. That's what I just realized. But yeah, not too much action on their Facebook page. But then again, I don't know. I don't use Facebook at all, so it's destination store generating a buzz. I think for sure, Crayon Green. Oh yeah, and Christopher, thank you for being here. The Milan flagship store is looking very good. They should take that model and replicate it all over the world as they can, modifying for store's layout. I think you're right, and I really think it's interesting. Like Italy's a very just random spot. I mean, I don't know why they chose it. Maybe someone has some information, or we could kind of like brainstorm on it as the stream goes on. But I don't know. It's interesting. Why would they do Italy? And I do think they want to expand it, but I don't think they want to go too fast. Very much the attitude's been like, don't believe us, just watch. So I feel like they're not gonna like just rush for like the sake of rushing, if that makes sense. Just because they seem to have the mentality of like, okay, there's a plan, and let's just keep going down the path. And I think this is like step one, potentially. I mean, maybe I would be weird to me if this was just like a one-off thing. You would have to think these would start popping up over time. Especially, I think in America, it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, everywhere it makes a lot of sense where the foot traffic is there. And I feel like now that I'm talking about this all out loud and thinking about it, it does make sense that GameStop over time, they didn't want to rush into this because the board members, Ryan Cohen, all of them, have really only been there like what, 2 years now? Or like really been operating fully, like putting this plan into effect for like initial like craziness, like January 2021, if that makes sense. I mean, Ryan Cohen was buying in prior to that, so I'm sure he was planning before, but like to really start executing, I'd say they've been executing for about 2 years. So they needed some time to implement like retail technology, get data, and like really see what stores like succeed the most and have the most success, and that would make the most sense to pick those stores to renovate to make these upgrades. And for whatever reason they chose Italy first. I would imagine they have some reason behind that. Maybe we can find it, maybe not. But it would make sense to me if then they use their data and like understanding from what they've learned over time to then handpick individual stores to slowly start making these renovations based on what they've seen in terms of what does well. And then maybe they see another market where like specifically just one of those, like it mentions 3 floors, maybe just there's an area where board games and home items and collectibles is just for some reason that region, that specific spot, they have data to make them understand that, make them believe that that would sell very strongly. Maybe they just open a store like that, if that makes sense. Maybe like GameStop Home, or like, I don't know. That's just a random brainstorm. But really, thank you guys all for being here tonight. Much appreciated. Um, what did I also want to show? Oh yeah, this is the Superstock library. Okay, let's not open anymore. Yes, I think this is it. So this guy, I wasn't familiar with him, but I saw this and it's cool. He just says like shop GameStop. Nothing major, nothing groundbreaking, but just saying it, I feel like is pretty nice. Let's get this rolling. Come on, why is this not going? CBD. Okay. My kid watches Preston Plays from time to time. He's watching and Preston was blowing up GameStop. It's very awesome to me. Seems like the quote unquote word includes the fact the company is letting their actions speak for themselves. It's really penetrating many levels. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. Where was it? Wasn't it? I thought I saw the actual YouTube video here or comment. Maybe it got removed, but showing 23.5 million. Oh, okay. Perfect. Let's check it out here. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, this is going to be something else. What? That was not the link. Very strange, but okay. Yeah, so let's look them up. Preston, please. So I think that's cool. I wonder if they have some kind of partnership with him. It would be pretty dope to see GameStop do partnerships with creators. I wonder if that's something coming down the pipeline. Someone I think would be super awesome to see would be what's his name? Dr. Disrespect. I love that guy. He's hilarious, man. He's great. If he partnered with GameStop, and he's referenced, he had a tweet once referencing like digital assets in games being a part of where gaming's going. Like I'm pretty sure he's on board with it and he believes in it and he's familiar with it. So I think that would be an epic partnership for GameStop. But that's like a huge thing. I don't know what kind of deal they would work out, and would it make sense with GameStop in terms. I mean, obviously they'd have to like analyze how much, like they'd have to pay him like a fortune. So they have to really analyze if they're going to do that, make some kind of contract with him, however it works. I'd have to look into that. They'd have to really make sure they thought the payoff would be pretty legit. Let's see. Busting Minecraft myths to see if they're scary. Damn, that's crazy views. Okay. Merch. No, it's not here. I did see someone put it. Or maybe he was just ranting about it. I thought I saw he put it in his description. Maybe it was something else, but I don't know. That's not a major thing, but I really think it's the little things like that over time. Shut up, Yahoo Finance. So, yep, let's see. I mean, we could also go through some old due diligence. I want to say shout out to you. I think it was Freshmaker. I believe you had sent this, and I kind of overlooked it. And then when I was on the plane, I just had it still open when I opened my laptop. I'm like, let me read these a little bit. Um, but basically, these are some proposals, these were the official like proposals to GameStop. Um, I'm not sure if one of these is Richard Newton's thing. I didn't really follow up on that. Like, I kind of wasn't really paying attention to it. I stopped after like hearing about it, and I know there's like all this like, controversy around it. But regardless, I'm gonna kind of quickly go through these three things because I think they're interesting. As the shareholder in this company, I'm writing to propose that the company and or its board of directors take action to issue an NFT tokenized dividend for each share held one-to-one with shareholders. Basically, a dividend to its shareholders in the form of an NFT, and it's saying it'll be one-to-one and basically act as a share count. That was proposal number one. And that's why the company did actually mention in their 10K that they didn't want to burn a lot of money and resources on doing something like that. I believe it was in there. But I'm going to pull it up as I read this. See, this is the proposal directly. This is the next one. Oh, yeah. So I'm requesting the current information regarding shareholder ownership of GameStop to be provided public display, GameStop website, computer share website, and its own website or dashboard. Also, to provide a searchable history of this information as well. Types of information to be included but not limited to: number of shares directly registered to shareholders, number of shareholders, number of shares held by insiders, number of shares held by seating code, the OTC nominee, banks, brokers, additions of each type of ownership, purchases, transfers in, reductions to each type of ownership, sales, transfers out. So I guess that would imply like direct registering and undirect registering shares. But okay, that's the second proposal. And then the third one here. Did I skip it already? Oh yeah. Proposal: the marketplace will offer precedent opportunities for growth on all horizons. With exploding interest in Web3 and quasi-competitors achieving market capitalizations in the double-digit billions, it is evident the board should consider a spin-off of GME Entertainment property. I propose that the board should assess a spin-off of GM Entertainment into a fully independent publicly traded company and issuance of non-fungible tokenized shares of ownership as a dividend to GameStop shareholders, with these non-fungible tokenized shares being tradable on the GameStop marketplace and eligible to be held non-custodially in the GameStop wallet. Traffic on the marketplace needs to grow. There's opportunity to bring a substantially number of users into the GameStop ecosystem. This will increase traffic and allow GM Entertainment to further leverage third-party partnerships and drive increased interest in future partnerships, resulting in more high-quality goods in the marketplace. The spinoff of GM Entertainment benefits GameStop by strengthening its balance sheet, and it can use any funds raised from the spinoff to focus on more aggressive growth strategies for retail stores. I don't know. I really think the strength is in GameStop's name. I kind of like that I believe they rebranded EB Games, or maybe it was a different one, I can't remember off the top of my head, to GameStop, because I really feel like the strength is in the name of GameStop. Because I love GameStop, I love rocking my GameStop shirt. I was wearing it in the airport on the way, and like I was like next to go through, like, all right, GameStop, you're up. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that nickname. But definitely some interesting proposals. But ultimately, two of them have the NFT dividend mentioned, which is certainly interesting to the point GameStop did actually wind up mentioning it here, if I'm not mistaken. And I really thought for a while, guys, this would be a viable option, for everything they're trying to do. Like, it makes sense. But I thought about it some more, right? And then I was like, under the potential scrutiny, right? Or how do I put it? Like, all the eyes on this and all the strange, like, strings that are pulled, so to speak. If they really did try and do something like that, I feel like it might result in lawsuits and a lot of money being spent on lawyers and just trying to actually make it happen, because it would try and be blocked in every which way. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. But I think that's kind of what the board's thinking too. So to me, and really Morantz, shout out to him. He's really helped me understand this. That GameStop, I mean, just generally, he says this, right? But this is how I put it together in my head, if that makes sense. It makes sense that if they were to try and do something like that, there's a lot of costs involved and it's a whole big thing, and like there'll be resistance and there's a lot of moving parts on that, right? Whereas the company just simply thrives and makes shareholder driven moves like over a long period of time, it will deliver so much value to shareholders, and anybody on the other side of the trade just betting against it is just naturally going to get burned. Let them, to me, it's like let them hold their bags as long as they want. Let them keep shorting it. That's kind of, or anybody, that's what I've started to think over time. Because if the company truly delivers shareholder value, they're just going to get burned and it's just going to hurt more and more and more and more pressure. So I just honestly think shareholder value through in the long term, I really think dividends could happen the more and more I think about it. But like long term, right? Like I think 5+ years, maybe less, I don't know. But I think things like share buybacks and acquisitions are really on the horizon because that just helps them build everything they're trying to do and every which way they're trying to expand, such as these like new GameStop stores. So that's kind of why I've moved away from the theory of NFT dividend being on the horizon, if that makes sense. I'm gonna check chat. Wendy, thank you for being here. EB in Canada, thank you, Korean. I thought so. Fresh Maker, good morning, everyone. Fresh Maker, thank you for being here. Yeah, I was just going through. If you wind back a little bit, or you have a chance, I was just talking about how you had mentioned these three things to me. I believe it was you. Correct me if I'm wrong. The three proposals, and honestly, yeah, it doesn't make. I think I was saying how last time too, but yeah, it just doesn't really seem like the best move for them. But anything could happen, right? But let's see. I think they had said NFT. Gotta zoom in. This thing's so tiny. Whoop. This is on digital. Okay, I'm gonna go through here. Let's see. Yes, it was me. Let's go. Good looks. What up, homies? DRS and book those shares. Ben, thank you for being here. Personally, I love DRS. Of course, everyone out there should make their own individual decisions, but made it. What up? John Jar Vinks, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Okay, let's see. Dividends. Nope. Let's say determination to pay dividends to the discretion of the board of directors and will depend on results of operations, financial condition, contractual restrictions, including those under the agreements governing our existing indebtedness and other factors of our board of directors seem relevant. So I think every company kind of puts that, honestly, so that's not anything major, but I want to see, did they mention it? For a stock split dividend. Dividend was distributed, so it's interesting, it's confirmed right there, stock split dividend. A net loss. We have certain undistributed stock rewards that participate in dividends of a non-forfeitable basis. However, the impact on revenues per share under two-class method is negligible. Credit agreement, certain dividends distributions, certain related party transactions. No, that's not what I'm looking for. And one quick point, I want to kind of circle back to something I said before, because oh no, these are the French term loans. I thought that was something else, but I had a thought where I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of leases, I believe, coming due that have to be renewed 23, 24. So they want to see the best possible stores to probably release and extend and then maybe build these three big stores, right? Or sorry, three level stores or like different type of like experience stores and collectibles and of course classic GameStop items, all those different things. Maybe that's kind of where their thought is if those leases have to be renewed in the near future. So that's why maybe they're kind of lining up for like this period to really kind of boom. But DRSGME, the vibes. Hey John Jar, what up? SBF Cellmate, great handle. That is a good one. Oh, do I have live chat? Oh damn, I gotta get all chat on the side. I have all chat on the side here. My bad, guys. I think I got everyone. I hate when I don't see a chat though. SPF Cellmate is a great handle. What up, John Jar Fresh, Wendy, Crayon, Ben, all the homies out here. Let's go. Always my personal thoughts and opinions. No financial advice. No financial advice. It's funny. I say at my job too. We're passive custodian. No financial advice. I come on YouTube. I go, I just like a stock. No financial advice. Same deal. Hey all, everything good? What up, what up? Everyone's saying hello. Challenger, thank you for being here. Ben, Danzo, Crayon, Freshmaker, John Jar, SVF Cellmate, thank you all. Oh yeah, I didn't read your comment, my bad. One GameStop astronaut blanks for America. Low-key salty about that. Honestly, that'd be sick. They should do, I was thinking like things like, yeah, blankets. What did was I thinking the other day? I was like, if GameStop had this, I would buy this. I think they should just brand more stuff because you could probably sell it for a decent margin, I would imagine. And maybe don't sell a lot of it, but it's gonna be individuals like myself that are gonna buy like GameStop anything. Give me a GameStop fucking lamp. Like give me a GameStop water bottle. I don't know. I literally love GameStop that much at this point. Which is like, what else do you really see that has that kind of following from like so many individuals just from like all truly owning it? Like isn't that kind of crazy, like in a way, if that makes sense? I don't know. But again, everybody's an individual and always makes their own individual decisions. I really do believe in that. But the weighted average, blah blah blah. Restricted stock units. If the company declares and pays a dividend, cash, or distribution respected to its shares, the restricted stock units, subject hereby. Is anything? No, maybe it's in a different part that I'm not locating. What I'm trying to find right now is where they had basically mentioned that the dividend, NFT dividend, wouldn't be in their best interest. If the company declares and pays a cash dividend or distribution with respect to its shares, the restricted stock is subject here to addition of restricted stock. Okay, same thing. Hereby under. Nope. So maybe it's at another part, but I believe they addressed in response to those things. Things like I could try and find it, but I don't want to like bore everybody to death trying to go through 92 pages here. But let's see if I can find it real quick. I believe it was no, I don't know. But Mixtape, thank you for being here. What up? What up? Everybody tuning in. But yeah, I really got to get a video out on this too. I don't know if anyone saw. I was trying to like stream in the airport, just messing around, because we had so much time. We got through TSA on the way back for the first place in like 5 minutes. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, "What the fuck? Why are we so early? This is crazy." I mean, because we're like usually I fly out of it's like mad busy, so that was crazy. And I was like, "All right, let me just stream." And I was like trying to cover this. Like I had this article pulled up, but it just kept going off, and I was like trying to do it from my phone, so it wasn't working. But it was worth a shot. And honestly, I want to make a video on it and just kind of like put together some like straight thoughts and just like an overall like idea on it and what it could mean in the future. Although we did kind of basically just talk about that right now, but got to keep the videos rolling too, you know? All right, so we did go through that. And honestly, maybe we'll go through a little bit of old DD tonight. Like, look at all this. Look at all this. A lot of crazy stuff here. Let's see. What is chaos theory? The everything connection. Oh, I thought it was like, I want to see a theory on like, I'm sure there is one, I forgot exactly, but just about like GameStop and GME being the same. I'm sorry, GameStop and AMC being the same, and like the whole psychology of like meme stocks. But these are some good ones I was looking at. The House of Cards, the first one. This one really started to like have my attention. I was reading these like, and I remember when Morantz had a bit on. He's a pretty cool dude. He's really a cool dude. I remember watching that stream. That was pretty dope. The Moas thesis. I didn't even actually get to read through this one that much. I was mostly reading the other one. I had a couple other ones open. I guess I closed them down after, but it's crazy. Like I was kind of saying this earlier in the stream. Um, oh God, what is this? What is this? Um, earlier in the stream, it's very interesting, like reading back on some of these things, and especially when you look at when they're posted and you think back to when you had read them or half read them, whatever, or even like just skim past them. What were you thinking at that time as an individual versus what you know and think now? I think it's interesting to go back sometimes like this because, and I try and watch back occasional videos of mine for that same reason, just to kind of get an idea of like, okay, well, where was I at that point in time, and like, where am I now? What have I learned? What do I want to keep seeking to understand? Stuff like, or like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that like perspective. Like, what changed? It's like just weird stuff like that. I really feel like that kind of helps over time because I really do encourage everybody should like do their research, like literally always. And it says clearly, I was like, oh, do your own due diligence. I'm not giving financial advice, but it's like you actually should, you know. And it's like everything, there's just so much noise out there. Always like, zzz, you know, like everything's always like, oh this, oh that, oh this, oh that. And in a very fast world too, it makes sense that everyone wants to trade, trade, trade. And if you could trade and make money, like I'm absolutely happy for you. And on occasion, I want to like maybe make a move here, make a move there. But lately, I've just been like, okay, there's so much noise, and like I just really like GameStop. Like I'm just gonna hold. Like I've been chilling. Honestly, fortunately, have not been buying any shares as of late. Mostly because I'm just trying to work on some student debt, put some money in some different places like savings, stuff like that. Because I'm still just chilling at home, so just trying to work up in life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I really feel like it's knowing yourself as an individual, but I'm also glad to be in a position where, okay, I can, I feel more aware than ever about my investment, and I feel like there'll still be chances to buy GameStop at a decent valuation in the short term. I do accept though that if it just starts booming, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna wish I bought more. I do accept that though, but I'm very happy with what I have, and what I'm saying here is it's really important to do what's good for you as an individual. I really, really feel like that's important. But what's good for me as an individual is just buying GameStop like here and there because I don't want to like trade right now. I'm trying to focus. I've always doing a million things, I feel like, and I've spread myself too thin just between like events and like people, but also like a lot of these things are important to me as well. Like family, like is important, obviously, friends and girlfriend, all these different things. So I do want to find the right balance, but also as I like better myself, I feel like I can kind of like focus on all that. But hope that's a little motivational speech there. Damn, I'm going on a little rant. But did you see the Nordstrom Brian Cohen Ventures thing? Oh yeah, good looks, Crayon. I want to cover that actually. Let's pull that up. Let's hit the rest of the chat real quick. Did you know Out of Bed has his own CBD business? Oh no way! Really? Oh, and 420 box mode. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. That's actually crazy. Good for him that he has his own business. That's awesome. What's it called? Do you have the name? You should send it to me on Twitter or something, or just yeah, if you have Twitter or yeah, I don't think you can drop it in the chat, but or just tell me the name and I'll look it up. Either works. First maker, where's the proxy material for the 2023 shareholder material meeting? Yeah, that's a good question. We'd have to find that. Damn, one sec. And also, guys, if I have to run at some point and someone would have came and grabbed me, I told my brother to look out. But apparently my bags are supposed to be delivered because those of you that missed it before, my bags didn't make it home. I did by like I got on the last plane, the connector. We almost missed it. We're like, "Oops, sorry, we're gonna take your bag." They didn't load our bag in time, but somehow the people behind us, the bag got loaded. Fucking ridiculous. So apparently my bags are supposed to be delivered tonight, me and my friends to my house, but they ain't shown up yet. So I'm waiting for like my brother to come down and be like, "Yo, you got to sign for this because I got the thing that they're gonna send them. They should be delivered by 8 p.m. It is 7:47, so it is not looking good, but it's good, bud. All right. Good looks for 20 bucks a book. I'm gonna look that up after that. I appreciate that. And yeah, Fresh Maker. I don't know where it is. I'd have to pull it up. Let's see, proxy. Proxy statement. Let's see part the plan. Delivery will include delivery by means of email. Let's see. Participant authorizes the company to deliver generally any other documents related to its award, the plan, and other compensation or benefit plan of arrangement effect time to time, including without limitation reports, proxy statements, or other documents. Oh, okay, that's nothing. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out. No, it's not. Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Wait, I don't know. I don't know what I was just thinking. I think I was like mixing it up with something else. But that's gonna be for voting, if I'm not mistaken. Do correct me if I'm wrong. But it was April 11th last year. Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, the 10K was delayed, so I feel like maybe it's that type of thing too, but that is interesting. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, this is the leases I was talking about before. A lot of leases due in 2023, so I think a lot of decision making in terms of what stores they may potentially remodel, if that really is the route they're going down. But Deb, also I got to get you guys in the Discord. I got to drop my Discord link Thing is, I don't want to put it. I don't have to. I haven't set it up yet, so I don't want too many people. And eventually, I'm gonna get like a bot or something like spamming out, and I'm not even paying attention to it. But stay tuned, guys. I'm gonna get the Discord going. And no paid Discord. It's not join my Discord. None of that. None of that. We're chilling. We're chilling. It's literally just going to discuss GameStop and like whatever else. And also, I want to low key have like a little circle of like you guys or whoever wants to be. I mean, it doesn't have to be like anything major, but just when something's going on there, it's like, yo, did you just see what came out? Like someone said before, like Ryan Cohen and Nordstrom. Or I'm gonna look at just Nordstrom right here. Yahoo Finance first. Like, I want to be able to like, because I'm at work, I'm busy sometimes, right? Um, and because I'm busy, I don't always have time to like read into everything exactly. So if someone's just sending me like, "Yo, check this out," I'm like, "Oh, I gotta like quickly step out and take a look at this," or like finish up what I'm doing and like take a quick look. So it'd be cool to like be just sending stuff back and forth with you guys in like a group chat. Because I mean, I know people like who have GameStop, but I don't be like texting them that much, during the day. So I have them like Discord on my phone. And what am I doing? Cannot spell. Okay. But yeah, it's really about just like sharing information. I really think that's super super important. So yeah, I'll get you guys a Discord soon. But yeah, I definitely got to look up Adabit's thing. That's pretty dope. Am I saying it wrong? Adabit? I don't even know, to be honest. But let me close that out. I got too many things rocking and rolling here. So let's check this out now. So they added a new Nike veteran. Okay, Eric Sprunk. I'm not familiar with him. Now has 11 directors. That's pretty large. That's different to GameStop, but I mean he doesn't have like majority ownership. And I do think now Nordstrom is the brand he was probably referencing in his tweet about a once great American brand. I would think. I don't see what their stock price was previously. I mean, yeah, it was really thriving here and here, and it's generally, I believe, a higher end store. And that kind of seems to be a theme. What other one was he rumored to be? Well, not necessarily a theme, but it makes sense. I feel like if with what he's kind of trying to do here, because look at this right here, and I believe they have like some family. There's like some family business involved too. Decent amount of short interest, but you really don't even need a lot of short interest. I feel like to move a stock. It depends on so many different factors. So like that number to me is like has such a minimal meaning, especially after like everything I've learned about how like what swaps can do and like options contracts and like locates and all these like interesting ways derivatives and things move behind the scenes that it's like how are these numbers really calculated? Like we know how they're calculated, but like how are they really calculated? If that kind of makes sense. But it was a filing. I will Twitter DM you the link. Good looks. But yeah, this is my missing my assistant today, guys. GPT. I got logged out. So when I forget things on the spot, that's why I love having Chat GPT to like learn them. Because really what this whole channel is about and everything when I cover GameStop, like I'm no genius. I'm not trying to pretend to be a genius. I'm literally just learning live sometimes. And sometimes like things like that I really do forget. And like I love that you guys are like, yo, I'm gonna send it to you. Like that's awesome. But what stands out to me real quick, I want to say with Nordstrom, looking at the revenue, that's pretty significant relative to market cap. But why that is, you have to look at the balance sheet. So I do wonder if Ryan Cohen is going to have some influence to say, hey, we got to start buying back some stock, paying down our debt a little bit more aggressive in a higher interest rate environment. And I do want to look into the insiders more, but they do have pretty significant insiders. I do believe they pay a dividend already at this moment in time. BlackRock. So he's like right up here now. He's pretty. Was it like 5%? So he might be just below Vanguard and BlackRock. That's pretty significant shares if that's the case. I'd have to look exactly. But what insiders see? A lot of purchases and no sells. That's interesting. Taking a look at it. And stock award. That's always interesting. Okay, a sale. That's never good. Conversion. Okay, that's a good conversion price relative to where it's at. Getting stock awarded, higher, but just hodling from what it looks like here. Let's see, any... Oh yeah, Nordstrom. Oh, I see another one where the last name's Nordstrom. Look at that. That's just like Dillard's. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. But did he found it? Is he the founder? I wonder. Peter Nordstrom. As the greatest grandson of John W. Nordstrom, sort of sole president. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Interesting. Sale, not good. Conversion. Okay. Let's get over to here. Failed to send Twitter DM. Damn, you're good. It's all good. No worries. I'll pull it up another time. We're chilling. There was one other thing I wanted to get into. I had another decent kind of point I wanted to make. No, more coffee. But I don't know if anybody out there is, hockey fans. I know some people that watch are hockey fans. But playoffs start tonight, so that's exciting. Definitely excited to catch some of that as I slump later. But I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so tired. What a long, fun weekend, though, in Texas. It really was a blast. I really wish I got to go to Grapevine, Texas, and visit like GameStop headquarters. Even the drive by it, like nearby, would be so dope, just to kind of see it. Damn, there was one more thing, but added spaces to not get bonked. Good looks. Appreciate that. Let's pull it up. Because why not? I just want to make sure also. This is my DMs real quick. Let's see. And for real, I appreciate all the love you guys show me on Twitter. Much appreciated. Let's see, what was I gonna... No updates on my bags. We have 4 minutes, guys. It doesn't look like they're coming. That's very unfortunate. I'm gonna get pause. No, I'm not trying to play this. I'm gonna get copyrighted, yeah. I'm just kidding. What? That's crazy. Alright, hold on one second before I go into the DMs. I want to make sure. Not that I have like anything to hide. Damn, I don't think it went through actually, Crayon. I don't know why. I was getting these though. Still worried about how to pick stocks? Now Wall Street is planning enrollment of 100 students free. Recommendation of storing stocks for a month. Guaranteed monthly income at rate of 30 to 50%. Wow, totally true. Page 79. No, it didn't. Damn. I don't know why it didn't send. Oh, page 79. Is that where what I was looking for before? Oh. Any possible other documentation? Okay. Referencing this? Okay, let's see here. I do want to read this regardless. Incentive plan. Okay. Award of restricted stock units. Subject to the participant's acceptance of the award, the company has granted the participant a number of restricted stock units set forth in grant notice upon the terms and conditions set forth in this agreement and the plan. Each restricted stock unit represents the right to receive 1 share at times subject to the terms and conditions set forth by the agreement and the plan. Date of grant subject to participants' acceptance or award restricted stock units advanced by this agreement were granted on the grant date set forth in the grant notice. Vesting restricted rights, subject to the participants abiding to the terms herein. The restricted stock units subject to hereto, it's such an interesting word, hereto. It looks like it should be 2 words. Will become vested in such amounts and at such times that are set forth in grant's notice, subject to acceleration on basis determined by the committee, effective termination service, the participant's plan. Ceases for any reason, then unless otherwise specified in the grant notice or determined by the committee, all restricted stock units that remain unvested at the time of such cessation will be forfeited immediately and automatically. Okay, so that basically means like if shares are vesting over time, you know, the longer they stay with the company, the more shares they actually get matched or given to them. I understand like vesting with a 401k, so I'm trying to like tie it together in that way. Um, Settlement within 60 days. Company shall issue to the participant either book entry registration or issuance of a stock certificate or certificates a number of shares equal to the number of restricted stock units then vesting. Interesting. And you would have to wonder if Ryan Cohen, maybe, right, just theoretically, with Nordstrom was like, hey, are you guys all registering your shares? I mean, you'd have to wonder, right? Just maybe. Just maybe. Just a random thought. But definitely interesting. Does Nordstrom have a dividend? History. Next dividend. Yeah, so they're still paying dividends. It'd be interesting, like maybe Ryan Cohen presents the idea to them. I'll just brainstorm here, guys. Maybe like he's like, hey, you know what? You guys should cut the dividend temporarily, and while that would hit the stock short term, then they could buy back shares and pay down debt more aggressively, potentially. Maybe that's an idea. Maybe not even buying back shares is the best thing for them. Probably more so, I would think, paying down the debt in this environment. Yo, 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 sorry I'm late. XFIT, I was literally just thinking, yo, where's XFIT? I swear that thought was on my mind. No cap. No cap. But, damn, yeah, I gotta break this down. See, this is the kind of thing I should have done on the plane more. Mad at myself I didn't. But, you know, I was in vacation mode, so you don't want to read too much, drive myself too crazy. But at the same time, you know, the grind doesn't stop. The grind doesn't stop. I always kind of like teeter between that. But I really wanted to like really, really dissect like line by line all this stuff. You know, I'm still doing it little by little, but there's just so much to go through. It's crazy. Like all these different little things to understand over time. How much per share did Ryan Cohen pay for Nordstrom? That's a good question. I guess it'd be on Nordstrom's investor relations. Let's see. I get this to load up. Yeah, and also, oh, being on the plane. I slept on a couch this weekend. Not feeling the best in terms of like quality of sleep and like looseness. But also, I was hitting a workout though, so I'm kind of sore because I was with my Fredo. He is like he's in the Air Force, so I got to see the base, and it's pretty dope to like get to work out there. And I was like, damn, you get big. But now actually trying to keep the workout going. You know, I've been working out here and there. I'm not like doing anything crazy, but you know, step by step, brick by brick, just like GameStop. So I was getting shown some stuff, but feeling that. Where are the other things? And you know, I low key have the thought. I'm like, is this gonna be the next GME? Like, let me be clear, not like that. Is it gonna be the next storyline? Oh, this is the next GME, right? Is that gonna be it? Is that, and then, like, you know, all these different thoughts are going through my head seeing this, right? Because think about how Bed Bath started and look where it's at now. And I don't know, there's so many different things that have happened over time that seemed one way, and then down the line, it turned out to be another. Um, yeah, I don't know, lots of different thoughts, but let's see. SEC filings. But yo, gang's out here. But yeah, guys, it's 8:03. My luggage never arrived. That's pretty unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. Because yeah, my luggage never got on the plane. Fucking crazy. Somehow the person behind me though. Somehow the person behind me. And I'm trying to never do a connector again. That was like the worst. Worst. 2 times having to sprint through the airport. According to Marantz, Coles will be next meme. Danzo, I actually saw you tweeted that. Like as I was like clicking on like to tweet on my stream, like it was like low key there. I like read it like super fast. I was like, huh, interesting. I'll have to check on that because then I was like, I did see that connect the dots thumbnail of Marantz's, and I have to get caught up on connect the dots. So wait, where am I going here? Okay, where are my SEC filings? View all. Let's see. Is this? Well, no. Ryan Cohen's was from. Well, he does not. Is he under Form 4? Let's see. Steins, no. RC Ventures filings. I think they're using RC Ventures to attract household traffic. No, that makes sense. Like in the sense, well, I guess. Do you mean like from Ryan Cohen's perspective? Like he's using it to like draw household traffic, or reverse sense, anything like the storyline's going to start to be like, oh, it's the same because Ryan Cohen bought it. Oh, it's the same. It's the same. 14A, page 17, Nordstrom release. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. Oh, okay. It's in here. Good looks. Good looks. Crayon, you're really clutching it right now, big time. Yeah, not where we want to be. Okay. Being an amateur. Okay. It's there. So we got approval of amended and restated employee stock purchase plan. The board recommends a vote for this proposal. The annual meeting, shareholders will be asked to approve the Nordstrom amended, restated employee stock purchase plan. The shareholder approval of this amendment to the plan will increase the maximum number of shares common stock authorized for issuance under the plan by 3.5 million shares. The plan offers eligible employees the opportunity to acquire stock ownership in the company through periodic payroll deductions that are applied towards the purchase of common stock at a discount from then current market price. See, that's super dope. I really like that idea. That's super cool. And GameStop, from what I understand, is doing it as well. From mostly the upper level, but same thing here where it's like eligible employees. So while it's not all employees, I think that's a super cool thing that leadership is involved, because I know if I was getting paid stock when I worked at Marshalls, I feel like I'd care a little bit more, or I just feel like a little bit more invested. I mean, obviously it wasn't like a long-term thing I was trying to do. I mean, at the time I didn't really know, but I was in college and I was like, I mostly was doing it to pay for. I mean, I did know, but I was like, maybe I'll be like back office, so then I could kind of relocate to there because I would have on the ground experience. But it just started to suck so bad. I was like, I can't do this. I can't be doing this. But the plan originally adopted by the board of November 1999 was approved by shareholders in May 2000. On several occasions since the original adopt plan, the Board of Compensation, People and Culture Committee adopted and put before shareholders to approve the amendments to the plan. Oh, okay. So, all learning here. Those amendments have addressed changes in law applicable to the plan, have also increased shareholders authors, let's see, just lost my spot. Increase the number of shares of common stock can be purchased under the plan to a total of 16.1 million shares. As of April 10, 2023, out of the authorized 16.1 million shares, there were 1.8 million shares available for future purchase under the plan. In February 23, at the recommendation of the committee, the board approved the amendment and reinstated collectively the amendment of the plan, which, if approved by the shareholders, it will increase the aggregate number of shares of common stock to be purchased under the plan as of record date by 3.5 million, a total of 19.6 million shares. For purpose of amendments to ensure Nordstrom had the sufficient reserve of common stock available under the plan to provide eligible employees of the company and its participating subsidiaries with a continuing opportunity to acquire ownership in the company through participation plan. The board approved other minor editorial amendments. These administrative changes do not require shareholder approval. The following is a summary of the principal features of the plan. This summary is qualified in all aspects, blah, blah, blah. Okay, summary. With certain exceptions, any eligible employee of the company or a participating subsidiary on February 1st who remains an employee through April 1st may participate in the offering commencing April 1st. Any employee of the company or participating subsidiary on April 1st who remains an employee. Did I just read the same line twice? What the heck? Okay, blah, blah. Comments like 90% of the closing price reported. An employee may elect to have up to 15% of his or her compensation withheld for the purpose of purchasing common stock under the plan. As of the last day, each offering period, each participant is deemed to have been granted an option to purchase up to the lesser of 1,000 shares or that whole number of shares determined by dividing the amount of the participant's compensation withheld from the offering by 90% of the fair market value of the common stock. A lot of words, a lot of words. But this is definitely interesting stuff. We are wrong on the wrong page. Control F RC Ventures. Got you. Got you. So this one, I was just, yeah, okay. A rights plan. Oh, okay, okay. This one. Correct me if I'm wrong, Crayon. I believe this is what you're talking about. And good looks. I really do appreciate this. Sorry, sometimes I'm gooning and I'm just like reading through the wrong thing, but I really do like just want to keep learning and seeing these interesting things. And part of like why I really started live streaming is like to commit myself to always have time to like be looking at things and like I'm looking at things with you guys and just bouncing ideas. So it's really awesome. To like do things like this. So thank you. The board recommends a vote for this proposal. On it. All right, let's go. Clutch. Rights plan under September 19th, 2025. Let me read some water. Read some water. Drink some water for this. Oh yeah, I'm reading Pure Life. The board adopted the rights plan on September 19th, 2022 to protect the interests of the company and all shareholders from the likelihood that any entity, person, or group gains control of the company through open market accumulation or other means without payment of an adequate control premium. The board believes that it's in the best interest of the company and all shareholders to extend rights plan until September 19, 2025, with the board retaining ability to determine the rights plan prior to such date if warranted. While shareholder approval is not required to extend the rights plan, the board is asking shareholders to approve this advisory vote on the extension of the rights plan as part of the board's commitment to good corporate governance, caring about shareholders. That's what that sounds like to me, and to ensure shareholders have an opportunity to voice their feedback on this matter. Although the outcome of this proposal is non binding, the company will carefully consider the outcome of the proposal in considering whether to extend the rights plan. Rationale for extension of the rights plan on September 19, 2022, the board adopted. Okay. Rights plan by and between company and Computer Share Trust Company as rights agent declared a dividend of one common stock for each outstanding share of common stock. The rights to shareholders of the clan of business. Okay, the rights plan is similar to plans adopted by other public companies and is intended to protect the interests of the company and all Nordstrom shareholders. As announced at the time of the adoption, the rights plan reduces the likelihood that any entity, person, or group gains control of the company through open market accumulation or other means without payment for adequate control premium. Helps ensure the board has sufficient time to make informed, deliberate decisions that are in the best interest of the companies and all shareholders. Yeah, so I feel like nobody just kind of stepping in and forcing a hand in a sense. I think that's definitely important. Hi, friends. Anthony, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. The board adopted. Okay, we did not. Blah, blah. Applies equally to all current and future shareholders of the company. Was not adopted in response to any specific takeover bid or other proposal to acquire control of the company. Is not intended to deter offers that are fair and otherwise in the best interest of all shareholders. The board adopted the rights plan. They just kind of have to say that, I feel like. 4 days after Liverpool disclosed it at 9. Oh, interesting. It disclosed it acquired 9.9% of the company's common stock. Liverpool is a retailer operating mid and high-end department stores in Mexico. While representatives of the company had occasionally crossed paths with representatives of Liverpool before this date, such as at industry conferences, the company was unaware that Liverpool was making an investment in the company until shortly before Liverpool's disclosure of their ownership stake. In light of Liverpool's rapid open market accumulation and certainty regarding Liverpool's intention towards the company, uncertainty regarding Liverpool's intentions towards the company, among other factors, the board determined it would be appropriate to adopt the rights plan. That's super interesting. That's super, super interesting. Now, we should look up who this is. That is very, very interesting. And it definitely was like very recent. So, but who is shareholders board? Let's see. Members of the board. Chairman. I'd have to look into. All right, this might be. That's probably not the best website to look at it, but let's keep going here. But that's super interesting. Cross paths. Okay, so I was middle here. In making this determination, the board also considered that if either Liverpool or members of Nordstrom family increased their ownership, their combined ownership could determine the outcome of most shareholder votes if they voted together. The rights plan prevents Liverpool and members of the Nordstrom family from increases their positions or their ownership of common stock, and prevents Liverpool or any other shareholder from forming a group with members of the Nordstrom family, in each except as permitted by the rights plan, including increases in beneficial ownership through exercise of options, investing of restricted stocks and units granted by the company. RC Ventures, next paragraph. Let's go. All right, I'm getting there at the bottom. Maybe too much reading. My bad, guys. But I'm trying to just like understand the whole thing. So that's super interesting. But yeah, I just realized I just like kind of blue balled you guys like right before the juicy part right here. In addition, as of March 6, 2023, RC Ventures, an investment vehicle of Ryan Cohen, disclosed to the company that it owned 4.2% of the common stock and formally requested a waiver from the rights plan that would permit RC Ventures to acquire up to 19.9% of the company's common stock, above the 10% trigger of the rights plan. If Ryan Cohen were permitted to and did acquire 19.9% of common stock, then shareholders other than members of the Nordstrom family, Liverpool, and RC Ventures, the quote unquote other public shareholders, would collectively own less than 40% of outstanding common stock. The rights plan will terminate in accordance with its terms on September 19, 2023. The board believes it's in the best interest of the company that all shareholders to extend the rights plan until September 19, 2025 for the following reasons. Deters creeping acquisition of control. Rights plan likely that any entity, a person, or group continue to control the company through open market accumulation or other means without payment of the adequate control premium. As a result of the rights plan, no shareholder can acquire benefits of the right plan of 10% or more of the common stock. So, okay, lots to unpack here, but that is very interesting to start. Let's keep going here. Gotta keep remembering to breathe. Stock includes by formally group with shareholders and total ownership in excess of the threshold. Likely, the rights plan operates to prevent the Nordstrom family from forming a group with other shareholders acquiring additional common stock other than in accordance with the rights plan. Under the rights plan, Annie Gritter, Bruce A. Nordstrom, Eric B. Nordstrom, James F. Nordstrom, Peter E. Nordstrom, and their respective affiliates and associates are collectively quote unquote grandfathered, but they cannot acquire additional shares of common stock, including by forming a group with shareholders under these persons, except in accordance with the rights plan, according to increases in beneficial ownership through the exercise of options investing stocks units granted by the company. As of April 10, 2023, or earlier set forth by the security ownership of certain beneficial owners and management, Liverpool beneficially owned 9.76% of common outstanding stock. Ann Gritter, Bruce Nordstrom, Eric Nordstrom, James Nordstrom, Peter Nordstrom beneficially owned 30.23% of the outstanding common stock in aggregate. That's a lot amongst a small group of individuals, and that's family. Looks like it's family business to me. 30.23% of outstanding common stock in aggregate. In absence of the right plan, these persons could freely increase their beneficial ownership that could result in these persons collectively holding a majority of outstanding common stock. So that's interesting. What I kind of see happening here from reading this so far, from what I understand, basically they're not going to let anybody come in and just take over more than 10%. But at the same time, like, oh, well, we have to do it because you guys wouldn't want us to do it to you, right? It's kind of like you won't do it, we won't do it. Like, they're kind of like, that's their counter, if that makes sense. Now, why would they release this info at 4.2% does not need to disclose? Why else is so? They already said no. That is a good question. Let's keep reading. Maybe I'll find out. But if you have a theory, definitely let me know. That is a very good question because you're right. Enables the board to respond to, maybe it's right here, I'm not reading it yet, to unsolicited acquisition proposals. So yeah, they can make good decisions. That's good. And against abusive or coercive takeover tactics by a potential acquirer that could be used to gain control of the company without the acquirer paying all shareholders a fair price for their shares, including a partial or two-tier tender offer that fails to treat all shareholders equally. Ensures other public shareholders have the ability to reject a merger proposal. Under Washington corporate law, approval of a merger Approval of a merger of the company generally requires the approval of 2/3 of the votes entitled to be cast on the approval. Ryan Cohen Ventures has stated that as of March 6, 2023, it beneficially owned 4.2% of outstanding common stock and requests an exemption to purchase up to 19.9% of the company's common stock. If RC Ventures acquired 19.9% of outstanding stock and RC Ventures, members of Nordstrom and Liverpool all supported merger of the company would only require the support of approximately additional 10% of outstanding shares 10% of outstanding shares to be approved. The vote on this proposal will inform the board's independent decision in excess of its fiduciary duties to whether it is advisable and in the best interest of the company and its shareholders to extend the rights plan. Accordingly, the board retains the authority to extend the rights plan and or with or without amending one or more of its provisions. Whether or not shareholders approve this proposal, likewise, even if shareholders approve this proposal, the board will determine to extend the rights plan or at any time the term of the rights plan may determine that the rights plan should be terminated, further extended, or otherwise amended. If it's extended, Eric Nordstrom and Peter Nordstrom would be restricted in their acquisition of additional shares of common stock, except to the extent such acquisitions were permitted by the rights plan. Baiting household investors, I guess, is my guess. That makes sense. No, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. But honestly, that just fried my brain. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I love frying my brain. So I love learning. You gotta learn this stuff and just read it. But oh man, this is so long. There's so much going on. I feel like I gotta get back to you on this. We gotta follow up on this a little bit because I do want to kind of keep going here. But yeah, this is definitely interesting. Dilution chargements. Upon exercise the right, if the stock event of stock dividend all around suited combustion reclassification of common stock, shareholders of common stock are granted certain rights. Okay, yeah. I'll have to I'm gonna circle back to this. I'm definitely glad you brought this up though, very much so. Because I want to look into them. Who is this like Liverpool company? Ownership company. Trying to protect their own voting power. Yeah, and my question is like, what are they trying to protect it from? Like, do they suspect somebody's coming in? Is it this Liverpool company they're scared of? Ownership company that operates retail stores and shopping centers located throughout the major cities of Mexico, as well as retail space in shopping malls in Mexico. The board members have various connections to the company. Yeah, lots to unpack here. I really haven't even got a chance to look at this at all prior to this, so I do really appreciate you guys bringing this up. Time to go in and vote no? Maybe. I don't know. But honestly, guys, I'm personally not interested in Nordstrom. I'm just gonna keep chilling with GameStop. That's what's that like? That Drake song? It's like, oh yeah, that I just heard over the weekend. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. Something till it's over. It's over. But yeah, I'm just doing me with GameStop right now. But this is very interesting. I love that there's always another chapter. There's always another like thing to look into, like some other branch of GameStop or Ryan Cohen or just everything as a whole. It's always really exciting. But man, I can't believe the weekend I had. Like tired I am. Crazy. And just want to keep being like Ryan Cohen. I just got to keep putting in the work. But House of Cards. Any other good ones you guys think I should look back at soon? I feel like I was looking at this list is just so overwhelming. But what is it? There was a good one. I can't think what it's like. When it's like appear strong when you're weak and weak when you're strong. Something like that. There's some kind of like I like that kind of due diligence too, where it's like a lot about the psychological and like perception of, maybe an institution or a system or a market as a whole, whatever. Or just why things seem the way they seem when maybe they are not what it actually seems as if. Like this I don't think I've read this one, Theory of Everything. That's interesting. See, I always like just click on a random one sometimes. Okay, equity total return swaps, hidden short interest, portfolio swaps and meme stocks, future roll dates, hedging of swaps, losing quarter of season, the money calls, short interest dropped, where to go. I think tokenized shares. Maybe, just maybe. A lot of shady, weird things going on there. Puzzle of quarterly movements, equity. See, quarterly movements. Remember when that was the thing? Those just kind of went away. Where did those go? Right? This is why I like reading back on things. Things like that just pop up to me over time in my mind. Keep up all the good work, Benjamin. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, but just chilling. Oh damn, and it's gone. Okay, short interest. It's going to chain about credit default swaps that led me to equity default swaps, which led me to synthetic prime brokerages, which then led to total return swaps, which finally led me to this post, which I think is amazing. It discusses total return swaps and all the persons that may be involved in this quote unquote meme stock situation. This guy calls them the Voltron Fund. This isn't Melvin Capital and Fielder hedge funds being short. It's likely to be a massive amount of shorting hedge funds and SFOs around the world that abuse naked shorting on a basket of stocks, not putting the SHFs and SFOs at risk, but the market makers and banks at risk as well. These are all fucked if stocks squeeze. I don't know how I feel with that, but let's pull up this. Because also, then I would have to backtrack now if I really wanted to go deep on this. What happened with these particular swaps? Oh, user deleted. That's always interesting. And see, this was 2 years ago, so this was at the very beginning of Superstock. I think I kind of remember this one. This one seems pretty familiar. Kenny. Um, assumes market risk, takes on the pair's risk of default. So that's sounds to me like a credit default swap, right? Is that that's total return swaps? I want to see what he means by Voltron Fund though. That's mostly what I'm curious here. Oh wait a minute, what's this one? I saw South Park GameStop. What is this Voltron Fund? Okay, we're not just facing Citadel, and this is what this user deleted says, but a global network of banks, hedge funds, family offices, and other financial institutions who have created a de facto private stock market and hold the fate of thousands of companies, trillions of dollars, and perhaps entire countries in their hands. I call this the Voltron Fund, but it's not a cosmic defender. The monster is completely divorced from normal market mechanics because of its incoherentness, right? Connectedness. I believe there's an universal algorithm, Voltron Sword, managing these assets, not one of these companies, but all of them. If one institution needs net capital, they get it from another room to spare. If they need a loophole, they transfer the problem to an institution that can bury it in different loopholes and regulations. Sometimes they can ship it offshore to a regulatory black hole like Luxembourg, Bermuda, and the Cayman Islands. Look what happened with Cayman Islands and SBF and all that, right? That's just something for food for thought. But maybe what we're seeing around net capital days isn't buy sell pressure from Citadel, but the entire fund moving assets to balance one another's books. We're not fighting humans, we're fighting the wealthiest, most powerful algorithm in the world. Hey, this is just what one individual's saying, right? I'm just reading it out here. So, quick stretch break. Damn, I did not. I set up mad quick. It was literally so busy at work today, guys. I'm not even like a good setup. I feel like I'm like a pretzel right now. Not sitting very straight, but we're chilling. Let's get a quick adjustment here. Low-key, I did mess up my shoulder working out a little bit. I mean, I'm not brawling, but also I probably should have stretched more or just not messed up. But for some reason, one is way more sore than the other. I don't really know. That's definitely interesting. But whatever. I still can't believe I don't have my bag. And it was like, oh, it's gonna be delivered tonight. I didn't actually think it was. But then when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, maybe it will. What a clown I am. But let's see. We don't need to be careful. All of them. Okay, this is all, what someone says, right? I'm just reading. And this is a user slash delete. I don't even know who it is, right? Connection problems with it wasn't related to the weekend of June 20th. Hey, that's my birthday, June 27th. Then my DD sense was triggered. Super Stink was barely wrong, or not at all, but between June 24th, 27th. Reddit's asked on Twitter to not update once to make people aware of the problems. On top of that, I couldn't find evidence. What's the problem? See, this goes deep. Fastly. Could read this right here. Could read this right here. interesting. Build your own DD number 1. Say the point Citadel and fastly Citadel. Connected. This is all, allegedly, but sorry for the voice, I don't feel like fixing it. Managing 6.5 billion outside Austin, Texas, location of so many data centers associated with the Voltron. What doing? What does it mean, data centers? So isn't it crazy when you start going through like old things? You just start going to their album, like, what's this old post? And then links to other stuff. I will too long. Don't read this as best I can. Adding to this because people don't want to read. It's true. And honestly, I want to go back to the other post, so I kind of want to, or I just want to keep bouncing around. So damn, I'm literally the reason this guy put this here. Citadel has been moving to Texas since 2019. They moved right next to some big players in the game. These data centers were set up to hide more sophisticated Citadel seam. Albeit repeatedly structured, involving shorts, FTDs, and moving capital around to make their assets and positions appear larger than they materially are. There are more players in this game than we think. This has been going on for too long. It's only a matter of time before someone lets go. User/notified says that. So that's definitely interesting. But that kind of reminds me of something I saw here. I think it was here. Where did I skim by it? But when was this? 20 years ago. But this is just, I thought it was just GameStop in a South Park episode. Whatever. Is it in House of Cards? Oh, yes, this is what it was. The DTC has been taken over by big money. They transitioned from a manual to, this is the too long don't read here for House of Cards Part 1. Compromised ledger system in the 80s, and it played a significant role in the 1987 market crash. In 2003, several issuers with the DTC wanted to remove their securities from DTC's deposit account because of the DTC's participants were naked shorted selling their securities. Turns out they were right. DTC and its participants have created a market-sized naked shorting selling scheme. All this made possible by DTC's enrollee, Seed & Co. It really bothers me sometimes just reading this, like many other people, and it just really is mind-blowing. It truly, truly is, right? And look, this is almost 2 years old at this point. Isn't that incredible? But basically, this first part is what caught my attention, and I was reading a little bit below here, and I'll try and find it again. They transitioned from a manual to a computerized ledger in the 80s, and it played a significant role in the 1987 crash, because from what I understand, the 1987 crash had to do with derivatives and their disconnect over time from like the actual stocks that they were underlying. And I have a little battery. Let me plug this in. Like, I don't know exactly what it was, but I don't have like all the knowledge off the top of my head, but that was what I was reading back here at some point. And this is where I really got to keep trying to like get better with notes and stuff like that. See, like I printed the article I was reading before, like the Italy one right here. Boom, we got it. And you just mark it up, just simple points I want to make sure I bring up like in a video. It's literally like school, like just like mark it up. Like you just put whatever's on your mind just on the paper. And I really feel like doing that sometimes really, really helps and just helping yourself learn as an individual. But that's just me. Going back here. So, okay, so the DTC was established. What happened? Let's check. Let's go. Connor Nee, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Going through some classic DD right now. This came out almost 2 years ago today. Pretty incredible, but add a bit. 50-year ripple effect, which is just crazy. And I really like how he breaks it down here. Depository trust company, centralized clearing agency that makes sure grandma gets her stonks and broker receives grandma's tendies. National Securities Clearing Corporation provides clearing, settlement, risk management, and central counterparty services to its members for broker-to-broker trades. So that's the DTC, right, is the top of it. And then NSCC is below it. And what the NSCC allows for is something called the ACAT system. If you look it up, the ACAT system is essentially a system to move cash and securities quickly between brokers, right? And that's why it says broker to broker trades there. So when everything and the NSCC is, you know, an entity of DTC, and DTC's participant is Seed & Co. Basically, all the shares can be in the name of Seed & Co. and can quickly change hands because they're all in the same name. They could just have to go through the ACAT system, so everything's being kept track of essentially through the ledgers of the brokers, and then, but it's all really with a giant umbrella over it that is the DTC. Like, that is just, when I learned that, it's just so mind blowing to me what the DTC really is, and like that low key, everything's actually Seed & Co. in a brokerage. Like, it's just so mind boggling. What's up, Tetron? Movier, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. They should close and convert every 3 existing stores to low traffic area into one flagship store in the image of the Milan site all across America. Anthony, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. I was kind of saying that a little bit before, where I think I was showing on the 10K that a big chunk of leases are going to be up this coming year, in this year, right now, 2023. So in my eyes, it would make sense, you know, with the company having had new leadership in place for a couple of years now, to really see, okay, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We know what's going on here. We know what the data looks like here. So let's, you know, this store's not so good. Let's close it down. But this should be one we upgrade and put experiences in, just like we did in Italy. And I think that's something we might start to see throughout 2023. And that could be a way they really start to drive profitability. And also, you know, sooner than later, I really think crypto is going to go through its next bull cycle. And I think every time crypto kind of runs, there's other things that get associated with it. My thought is maybe this is a little hopium, right? I really try not to do that, but hey, not hopium, but like a thought, right? And this is just what I think, and this is just something I personally get enthusiastic about. I feel like next crypto run will be when the next Bitcoin halving is, which I believe is early 2024. So it tends to start running just shortly before that, and then ride out after, and it goes through a giant spike, and then crashes off at some point, like we kind of saw a couple years ago at this point. But I think this time, you know, instead of it just being like NFTs and like random shit blowing up with it, maybe it's a point in time where the gaming industry starts to really evolve. And then all of a sudden, GameStop's at the forefront of that because they've really been building the infrastructure and they have the partnerships in place where they're having good experiences in the store and they're really introducing people to it. And then all of a sudden, GameStop, you know, is at the front of a time period, is very relevant, I should say, in a time period where the gaming industry really starts to shift. And I really think that's kind of their perspective, that the gaming industry is about to shift massively, and it's an ever-growing industry from just looking at numbers. And it's something I feel like more and more people get interested in over time, especially as, you know, more and more people grow up just fully surrounded by technology. It just becomes more and more a part of things. What movie did I watch? Something Guy. It was kind of like Ready Player One, but I've never seen it. I watched it in San Antonio with my buddies. We were just chilling one night, like after the bar, hungover as fuck. We just watched this movie till like 5 a.m. We were just chilling. Or maybe it was the next day. I don't even know. But whatever. Or maybe like half watched it and just fucking slumped to watch the rest of the next day. But Something Guy, Free Guy. That's what it was called, and that was a pretty good movie. And that was like a whole like digital thing. Yeah, I mean that was just a random movie. But honestly, my point is though, GameStop is a good company. No, I'm just kidding. But converting the stores really would make sense over time. I know that's a really long way to say that. And just to have more of these different experiences tied in to the potential shift in the gaming industry. I feel like what made GameStop big at its time in the past was that people loved trading in games, you know, going there to get the newest game because everything was really about having the disc at that time. Like, I feel like that was a huge thing because I mean, simply wasn't downloads. So if GameStop could be in front of the next chapter of gaming, right, where they didn't really catch it with the whole digital shift, maybe they can be ahead of it, or maybe that's the overall vision, right? And evolving these stores and developing everything they're doing in Web3 to be on that next level in the future. So when the shift does come, maybe there's a hype storm again around crypto. The next sort of thing that catches the hype with it will be digital assets in games, where I also think it won't just be solely because crypto's running. I think it would also have to be a collective of creators in terms of streamers and just gaming guys on YouTube, things like that, being involved with it and just opening up to the idea more or utilizing it. And that's where really I feel like GameStop could then go ahead and maybe do some of those partnerships, and also other brands and games really just adapting it, because it has to still ultimately be about the game at the end of the day in my eyes. If it ever just becomes about like making money and assets and this and that, then it's like it's not what it's all about then, you know. It's not what it's really supposed to be all about, if that kind of makes sense. I really feel like it's always about the game at the end of the day. But that's kind of a random ass rant there. Let's keep going here. Okay. In 1982, the DTC started using book entry only system to underwrite bonds. For the first time, there were no physical participants and actually traded hands. Everything was now performed virtually through computers. And that's crazy. In 1982, 40 years ago. Remarkable. Everything was now performed virtually through computers. Although this advantageous for many reasons, it made it much easier to commit a certain type of securities fraud, naked shorting. 1 year later, they adopted New York Stock Exchange Rule 387, which meant most securities transactions had to be completed under new BEO computer system. Needless to say, explosive growth took place for the next 5 years. Pretty soon, other securities started utilizing the BEO system. It paved the way for growth in mutual funds and government securities, and even allowed for same-day settlement. Crazy. At that point in time, there's same-day settlement. And now, where's same-day settlement? Plus T plus 2? At the time, the BEO system was a tremendous achievement. However, we were destined to hit a brick wall after that much growth in such a short time. By October 1987, that's exactly what happened. A number of explanations have been offered as for the cause of the crash. Among these are computer trading, derivative securities, illiquidity trade and budget deficits, and overvaluation. If you're wondering where the birthplace of high frequency trading came from, look no further. The same machines were automated the exhaustively manual reconciling process were to also blame for amplifying the fire sale of 1987. In search of for causing the crash, many analysts blame, and this is from the University of Melbourne. Great source right there. I love that he included that. In search of the cause of the crash, many analysts blame the use of computer trading, also known as program trading, by large institutional investing companies. In program trading, computers were programmed to automatically order large stock trades when certain markets prevailed. However, studies showed that during the 1987 US crash, other stock markets which do not use the trading program also crashed, some with losses even more severe than the US stock market. The last sentence indicates a much more persuasive issue was at play here. The fact they were still having trouble explaining the calculus is even more alarming. The effects were so persuasive it dubbed the first global financial crisis. Here's another great summary published by the New York Times. To be fair to the computers, they were programmed by fallible people and trusted by people who did not understand the computer's program's limitations. As computers came in, the human judgment went out. Damned if that didn't give me goosebumps. That is fucking creepy. That is creepy. Can I click? I guess because it's in this PDF format, I can't. But yeah, that does honestly give me goosebumps. That really does give me goosebumps. Good evening, Tetron and the crew. Sir Moist, thank you for being here. What up, what up? Did you see Bill Meyer and Ben McKenzie destroy crypto NFTs on real time this past weekend? They completely downplay the other side of the argument when it comes to the tech. I did not, Movier. I did not. But yeah, they definitely are probably just being ignorant. I mean, or just like you said, ignoring the other side completely, which is just nuts to me. Where are my fellow BBY holders at? Oh, yo, what up, Nathan? Yo, Nathan, I hate to break it to you, bro, but BBY is not big around here, honestly. But dude, it's all good. You're chilling, bro. But thank you for being here. Yeah, but we're going through some classic DD right now. It's crazy. Some of this one right here. I wish I gotta find this. Let me just try and search this. If you could find that. Let's see. Let's see if we had a paywall. I hope not. It was just a quarter century ago that Wall Street was shaken. And see, I feel like I trust this article more because it's older. I feel like any article that's older, I trust more because I feel like slowly the news has just become less and less, legit. It was a quarter century ago that Wall Street was shaken to its core by the October 19th, 1987 stock market crash. On one day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 23% of its value. People wondered if that heralded a new depression. A front page headline in the New York Times asked, "Does 1987 equal 1929?" It did not. The next recession, a mild one, was more than 2 years away. What it did signify was the beginning of the destruction of markets by dumb computers, or to be fair to the computers, by computers programmed by fallible people and trusted by people who did not understand the computer program's limitations. As computers came in, human judgment went out. That process, then in its infancy, gained speed over the next 2 decades. By 2008, it really did threaten a new depression, but we'll get to that later. The 1987 villain was something called portfolio insurance. It was a product that used stock index futures and options to assure institutional investors they did not need to worry if market prices seemed to be unreasonably high. Portfolio insurance would let them get out with minimal damage if markets ever began to fall. They would simply sell ever increasing numbers of future contracts, a process known as dynamic hedging. The short positions of future contracts would then offset losses caused by the falls in the stocks they owned. Portfolio insurance did not widespread selling of stocks in 1987, but made sure that the process got out of hand. As computers dictated that more and more futures be sold, the buyers of those futures not only insisted of sharply lower prices, but also hedged their positions by selling the underlying stocks. That drove down prices further, produced more sell orders from computers. At the time, many people generally understood how portfolio insurance worked, but there was a belief that very nature would assure it could not cause panic. Everyone would know the selling was not coming for anyone with inside information, so others would be willing to step in and buy to take advantage of bargains. Or so it was believed. But when the crash arrived, few understood much of anything, except that it was nothing like they had ever seen. Anyone who did step in with a buy order quickly regretted the decision. I was then the stock market columnist at Barron's, and I spent most of that October week on the trading floor at Solomon Brothers, then a leading brokerage firm in stock trading. Near the end of that Monday, I should ask my grandpa about that because my grandpa worked on Wall Street for a long time, like fresh out of high school, and he's been retired for geez, I don't know how long, 15 years. He was retired since I was really young, so he's been out of the game for a while. So he was probably there that day, or those sequence of days. I should ask him about it. That time period. Also, a little GME, but BBY went crazy today. Sus, very. Nah, yo, fresh maker, it's all good. Nathan's a homie, but dude, I wish you the best. But yeah, mostly here, the GME boys, but you're chilling, bro. You do you. At the end of the day, everyone is an individual. But keep going here. And really, I always appreciate everyone being here for real, for real. And this is crazy, reading this article right here, because this is mentioned from Adabit's House of Cards DD right here to move it over. Sorry, I'm doing the touchscreen right now. It's kind of easier to scroll down, so sorry if I just blocked the camera, but it's columnist at Barron's, and I spent most of that week on the trading floor at Solomon Brothers. Then a leading brokerage firm in stock trading. Near the end of that Monday, I remember looking up and seeing dozens of young investment makers lining up the trading floor. Maybe that was my grandpa at the time. There was really nothing for them to see. Ticker tape rolling across the side windows was hours behind actually trading, but many did no doubt wondered if their world was coming to an end. Stan Shopcorn, the Solomon vice president and chief equity trader, and a man who had not had a great day, noticed them after I did, and loudly suggested they must have something better to do. They didn't, but they quickly left. The next day, a Tuesday, Wall Street establishment effectively came together to stem the panic, although what happened gained little attention at the time. As sell orders forced the New York Stock Exchange to halt trading in stock after stock, word came that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange was threatening to halt trading in stock index futures. With many stocks done trading, there was no way to calculate an accurate value of a stock index. The system threatened to grind to a panic-induced halt. It was then that Mr. Shopcorn got on the phone with Bob Munchin. Wait a minute. Like the Munchin that we'll circle back. The head stock trader at Goldman Sachs and Solomon's principal competitor. I don't know why who initiated the call, but I heard the result. They agreed to tell their four traders to tell the stock exchange specialists that Goldman and Solomon would submit buy orders to reopen any stock in the Standard & Poor's 500. Within minutes, prices began to recover. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me read that again. That's nuts. That is so nuts. It was then Mr. Shopcorn got on the phone with Bob Munchin, the head stock trader at Goldman Sachs and Solomon's principal competitor. I don't know who initiated the call, but I heard the result. They agreed to tell their floor traders to tell the stock exchange specialists that Goldman and Solomon would submit buy orders to reopen any stock in the Standard & Poor's 500. Within minutes, prices began to recover. In the aftermath of the crash, program trading became a whipping boy. A whipping boy. It was program traders who had sold stocks as future prices plunged, and a lot of traditional portfolio managers wrongly believed they had caused the debacle. That was a case of shooting the messenger. The real villains were the money managers who had embraced portfolio insurance. Their computers called for selling futures contracts no matter how much that depressed prices, and the buyers of the future contracts, the program traders, simply did what they needed to protect themselves from losses. One mutual fund trader got a lot of attention demanding that program trading be stopped, and I called him up. Wasn't he, I asked, really saying he was against stock index futures? Oh no, he replied. He likes stock futures because he used them to hedge his stock positions. Portfolio insurance went out of style quickly, and some circuit breakers were put into halt trading. Oh yeah, like we've seen before many times, GameStop's been halted. So that's still relevant today. In future, when prices fell too far on a certain day, and why'd you look at that? Is because of computers that was implemented. They never had that before, right? But the real lesson of over reliance on computers and under reliance on human judgment. Let me read that again. But the real lesson of over reliance on computers and under reliance of human judgment was not understood. In recent years, we have seen example after example of what can happen. The flash crash of May 6, 2010 became a debacle because computers were programmed to sell market orders at the best price they could, and there was no exception for the practice of putting in what were known as stub bids of $1 for stocks worth far more. The New York Stock Exchange stood out because it allowed humans, its specialists who made markets and stocks, to halt trading. Had other markets followed, we would have all been better off. Crazy. This is just so much craziness. Damn. You have to laugh at how crazy it is. But damn, fresh maker, flaving my boy Nathan. But nah, everyone's chilling. All chill in the hood around here. We're all vibing out in Tetron land. But I was a shareholder this morning. Does that count? Oh yeah, Xbit's the Xbit trader. Xbit's nice with it. But let's keep going here. I got to get through the end of this. Flash crash. Yeah, this is so crazy. I mean, wow. I never read this article. I think I got to tweet this out honestly tomorrow. I feel like so some people read it. I feel like it's good information. The New York Stock Exchange stood out because it allowed humans, its specialists who made markets and stocks, to halt trading. Had other markets follow, we would all been better off. All right, guys, I'm going to make a commitment to you guys right now. I'm going to call my grandpa and ask him. I'm going to show him this article and ask him about it because I'm very curious what he says. And like I said, he worked on Wall Street. Oh, I have an even better idea. I mean, he's like, I don't know, actually. Okay, so if I did this, you guys could tell me what you think. I could maybe, if he was down for it, I could be like, if you wanna interview, like I could interview him. I'll just ask you questions about your time working at the stock market, like a long time ago. I think he'd like to talk about it. He doesn't really have an interest in GameStop. I've told him about it a little bit, and he doesn't really quite understand. Like he's like, yeah, if you believe in it, you should invest in what you know, and like believe. So like he just kind of like, yeah, like he like supportive, but not like obviously his cup of tea. He's very like safe, like value stocks, like huge like Pepsi guy. He has tons of Pepsi for years. He's just hodled. I'm pretty sure he got it from like his grandfather, or basically he's held Pepsi for a very long time, and yeah, I think so. Technically, Pepsi stock been in the family name, I guess, for a long time. But maybe I should have him on and just have a general like conversation about somebody who's worked on this floor because he worked there straight out of high school. So yeah, honestly, I think that'd be awesome. Hey, Crayon says yes. Honestly, I got to do that. A little pump to get next idiots into this trash company stock. Yeah, honestly, I think Bed Bat's more of a trade than anything else. That is for certain. It's for absolute certain. But yeah, I wonder, I don't know what happened today with it. Something. But I think I gotta have him on, guys. I'm starting to think that. But like I said, it wouldn't be a GME related conversation, but I think it'd be a cool conversation. And I gotta kind of figure out a way to set it up. It's gonna be in the pipeline, guys. All right, how have I never thought of that, yo? How have I never thought of that? That's crazy. That's why I love live streaming. All these like random thoughts pop out. But damn, let's fucking go. I'm gonna do that at some point. And sooner than later. And just show him this article. Like, what do you? I'll ask him about what he thinks of this, and then I'll just come back with information. Like, I'll just call him at some point, and then also I'll pitch him the idea, and then I'll come back to you guys and be like, oh, this is what he thought about this article, and then I'll also be like, okay, then this is what when we're gonna talk. So that would be super cool. The only thing is, oh no, he's back from Florida now. He does like the snowbird thing, so he's back from Florida now. Um, highly competitive. Okay, so let's finish out this article now. But within the highly competitive world of stock exchanges, where speed ranks first, that step was criticized. And this year, when Knight Capital's trading disaster again produced ridiculous prices, the exchange kept trading like everyone else. Who's Knight's Capital? Knight's Capital. Knights Capital Group is an American global financial services firm engaging in market making, electronic execution, and institutional sales and trading. In 2012, Knight was the largest trader in U.S. equities with a market share of around 17% of the New York Stock Exchange, as well as on the NASDAQ market. Knight's electronic trading group managed an average daily trading volume of more than 3.3 billion shares, trading over 21 billion daily. Sounds eerily similar to a company I may know. It took 17 years of dedicated work to build Knight Capital Group into one of the leading trade houses on Wall Street, and it nearly ended in less than 1 hour. It's fucking nuts, guys. That is fucking nuts, okay? Excuse my language, but that is nuts. It is. Like, it's crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Knight, some new trading software contained a flaw that became apparent after only software was activated when the New York Stock Exchange opened that day. The errant software sent Knight on a buying spree, snapping up 150 different stocks at a total cost of around $7 billion, all in the first hour of trading. Under exchange rules, Knight's entire unwanted position at a price that cost Knight $440 million, a staggering blow, but only one firm to be able to absorb it. If Knight failed, the only injured party, apart from Knight shareholders, including Goldman, would have been Goldman itself. Disposing of the accidentally purchased shares was the only the first step for CEO Thomas Joyce's battle to save the company. The trades had sapped the firm's capital, which would force it to greatly cut back its business or maybe to stop alternating altogether without a cash infusion. Cash infusion? Sound familiar? And as word spread about the software debacle, customers were liable to abandon the company if they did not trust its financial and operational capacities. A week later, Knight received $400 million in cash infusion from a group of investors, and by next summer, it was acquired by rival GetGo LLC. This case study will discuss the events leading up to the catastrophe, what went wrong, and how it could be prevented. Timeline of events. Some of Knight's biggest customers were discount brokers. Okay. Large financial services. Oh, these couple names are super relevant these days for two very different reasons, but large competitors have been internalizing increasingly large amounts of trading away from the public eye in their own exclusive markets or shared private markets, so-called dark pools. Since 2008, the portion of all stock trades in the U.S. market take away public markets has risen from 15% to more than 40%. I'm sure it's much, much higher now, right? We know that. As individuals, of course, everyone always do your own research. I'm just saying what I think. I'm just out here spitting information. See, maybe I'll do more shareholding for a couple hours tomorrow, like the sharehold. I spit clowning. But yeah, wow. In October 2011, the New York proposed a dark pool of its own called the Retail Liquidity Program. The Retail Liquidity Program would create a private market of traders within the New York Stock Exchange could anonymously transact shares for fractions of pennies, more or less than displayed bidder and offer prices, respectively. The RLP was controversial even with New York Stock Exchange Euronext, the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. Its CEO, Duncan Niederreiter, had written a public letter to Financial Times criticizing dark pools for shifting more and more information outside the public view and excluded price discovery process. Let's see whatever happened to him. Wow, I'm really stumbling on a lot of interesting stuff. I like seeing big guys sit on their balls like this. Yeah, and Sir Voice, me too, man. Crazy. Resigns. Huh. Look at that. Shortly after that, he resigns. Let's see why he resigned. No, I don't want to watch a video. Give me an article. He ran the New York Stock Exchange, but he can handle Italian soccer. Former New York Stock Exchange CEO leads Venice into Italy's top league. That's kind of sick, though. He's like, all right, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to just go run a soccer league. Why did he step down, though? Not the best source, but let's just get some quick information. Okay, so he's a pretty big name. I want to see why he stepped down. See. Let's see. Damn, guys, this is some digging deep, though. I really like it. Oh, we're on the Wayback Machine, it looks like. Tell me. Show me. Show me. Gotta be checking. Damn, already 9 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun, for real. A lot of compensation. He served as managing director since 1977. So yeah, he was with Goldman for a long time. And forever this has been going on where it's like a revolving door of like who's running things and like who's playing the game. You know, like it's like the player. It's almost like the players, the big chip players, right? Like if you're at a casino, you have the tiny tables, and it's like who cares what happens over there? It's the Wild West. But then you have the big dogs, and like if you try and go to the big dog table, it would be the equivalent, in my eyes, of a situation where the dealer just rotates with all the other people there. Where it's like, wait, they're all the house and the players? How is that possible? They take turns. You know what I mean? Like being the dealer. I don't know if that's the greatest example, but that's what I feel like it's like with people who like run stock exchanges, get hired for the SEC. Like Gary Gensler, former like Goldman. They're always like it's always Goldman too, right? Goldman's one of the largest, biggest names for a very long time now. What went wrong? Only a month before the LLP's approval and its go live, Knight's software development team worked feverishly to make necessary changes to execution systems, including SMARS, its algorithmic high-speed order router. SMARS stands for Smart Market Access Routing System. SMARS was able to execute thousands of orders per second and could compare prices between dozens of different trading venues within fractions of a second. A core feature of SMARS was to receive orders from other upstream components in Knight's trading platform, parent orders, and then, as needed, based on the available liquidity and price, sends one or more child orders to downstream external venues for execution. Power peg. This is a long one. I feel like this I might have to save for another one, but I want to go through this because, I mean, this is what I'm kind of doing. I keep not getting through things because there's just so much going on. But this is very interesting. The rights plan, circling back to that. This is always what happens. At the end of my stream, I have so many things open, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to like circle back. But good evening, sir. I'm going to get into some Fortnite. Nice. I'm about to play some Fortnite maybe one day, but I don't know. I haven't played in a minute. I'm kind of ass. I really want to play. I'm working towards it, guys. I've played for a while now. Kiraverse, Undead Box. Was that what the fuck is that what it's called? I don't know. The zombie game that is has in-game items on GameStop Marketplace. I'm gonna try them one day, and you guys will be able to play with me. We'll figure it out. That'd be mad fun. And then even maybe like some classic Minecraft, because I played Minecraft. Like I really feel like I was an OG player. Honestly, I played way before it was huge, way before Microsoft. I literally think I played in elementary school. I think. I don't know. When did Minecraft come out? 2011. I feel like 2014. Yeah, so middle school. It probably was like early middle school, honestly. How is Texas Tetron? Yo, what up? I'm Jordan Lacey. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a good traveling time too. I know you're about to go to like I think it's in VCon next week. I know you're about to go to that. So have fun, bro. Have fun. But dude, it was great. It was a blast. Oh yeah, so first you need to buy a new PC from GameStop. Yo, that's what I'm gonna do, Freshmaker. I'm trying to build it, but I'm gonna try and buy the pieces from GameStop, or ultimately just buy one from GameStop because fuck it, I love the company. But slowly building towards that. And since I'm John Lacey brought it up, I feel like I'll just tell the story real quick. So it was a great time. Just went out, got to see where my homie's like working each day for where he's serving for the Air Force. So that was cool. And just got to meet a bunch of his friends, shit like that. And we're out, and we're coming back. I'm like, okay, the flight is Sunday, and we have a connector. I'm like, all right, we'll make sure we get there early. We'll get on the flight on time, and we'll be chilling. No problem. We're sweating a little on the way to get here. The way back should be smooth, right? Should be smooth. But on the way back, right? Flight's delayed. Fuck. Well, first we got in through TSA. 5 minutes. It took like 5 minutes. We're like, now we have 2 hours to sit here. How is it so empty? It's Sunday. It was like San Antonio. The airport was like so easy to get in. I was not used to it. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we're just chilling. And the TSA guy was like, it was so weird. They're like, don't take your laptop out of the bag. Don't take anything out of the bag. I was like, aren't you supposed to take out the belts, stuff like that? Like, no. The guy was getting so, like, he was so nasty for this. Whatever. I don't say anything. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. It's just funny, but it's just so pissy for no reason. You're just like, yo, this guy's problem. Whatever. So we walk through, and we're just chilling. Flight's delayed. Fuck. All right, grab some food. Flight's delayed. Fuck. Now it's like, all right, it's looking close. Flight's delayed again. So we hop online. Like, all right, what do we do? They're like, okay, this one should be the last day. Like when we finally get to the long ass line in the front, it's just about boarding. Like, you can either try and stay here and leave Tuesday. We'll put like, I'm like, if you have somewhere to stay here, you can leave Tuesday. I'm like, I don't know about that. I literally have to work. They're like, okay, or you could try and go, and if you don't make your connector in Dallas, we'll hook you up with a hotel, and then you can fly out Monday late afternoon. So I'm like, oh my god, if that happens, I'm not gonna work. So I tell my friend, I'm like, all right, we're like group 7 or whatever, or like we're pretty deep in the group. So I'm like, yo, we got to get on this plane before like they start taking carry-ons, because if we miss the layover, we're going to wind up having to stay, and we don't want to be stuck without our carry-on bag at the layover. So I'm like, okay, we got to get it. So we just board like group 4, like the first non-priority boarding. I just like went on, like, okay, go right in. I was like, we were like some of the first people. I was like, fucking bet, let's go. That worked. Like, perfect. So if somehow we miss it, at least we'll have our bag with us, right? Like our carry-on bag. We don't have to worry. So I thought, all right, I finessed the bags. I'm smart like that, right? It lands, and it's go time, baby. It is go time, right? It was like we hopped off. Fucking Dallas is our connector on the way back. Dallas terminal, if you fly the same airline for the connector, somehow it was in the complete opposite side. It went from like terminal B to C, and you had to hop on this train, and it went like A, B. It went like A, C, B, D. So I had to go like here to here. So, and you can't walk. It's just a giant. You can walk all the way around, but we wouldn't have made it. We had boarding. It was departing in 20 minutes from when time we stepped off the plane. It was departing. So we went full sprint. Like I start running. My friend's he's like can't even like keep up with me because I was just like bulldozing people low key. I was like, I'm not fucking getting stuck in Dallas. Yeah, and I had to work today, and it was so busy because it's right before the IRA contribution deadline. So a lot of people were calling in about that, and just a couple of other people were out already. So if I had been out, really, I don't think they would have been happy, and I would have felt bad, because that would have been some bullshit. And I don't know, I didn't even know that also was going to happen. So at the time, I was like, I don't want to get stuck here. I don't want to get stuck here. Sprint, and we got to literally hop on a train. It's like, I don't know if anyone's been to Dallas Airport. You have to hop on it. It goes all the way around. But this motherfucker was driving, was stepping on it. Shout out to him or her. I don't know who it was. But other people in the summer were like, yo, this is moving fast. I was like, good, good. We have somewhere to be. We hop off, full sprint again, almost run over a kid, bang into like 2 people with my bag, and run up to the terminal, literally like some of the last people to board. But then a couple other people wound up coming behind us, right? 2 other couples come behind us, and I'm with my friends, so like just 2 random couples and maybe like 1 other person randomly. And yeah, there's like 1 other dude. So at that point, there's like 5 people behind us. We're like, oh my god, we fucking made it. We're all saying like, yes, yes. We all just came on the same flight because we were like full sprint, and like I guess because we're younger, like we could move pretty quick. So we definitely were going. I mean, I was going fast. So my friend, like, he was keeping up because I was like, I mean, we were just both moving quick. Like we had to, right? So they line up behind us, and they're like, okay, well, since you guys are like kind of last time, we need to take your bags, and like, you need to check them, like not check them, but when you take them and you have to pick them off the carousel thing because there's not enough room. So I'm like, whatever. At least we made it. It's fine. I don't care. No big deal, right? We get off the plane. We go to our baggage pickup. We wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. We wait. 45 minutes, right? 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, what happens is it's done. No more bags. Maybe an hour. You're fucking kidding me? Our bags never came out. I checked the airline lap. I start going to we're starting to wait online. Only 3 people in front of us. And I start checking the lap. I'm like, what's going on? And it says expedited. I'm like, okay, yeah, it should be here. I don't understand. And then while I'm waiting online, it's taking forever. There's like 3 people in front. 5 people in the room. 5 people standing in the room. 1 person on the computer. And I'm like, the rest of them are just like kind of standing around, looking around, just doing basically nothing. And I was like, can somebody else use the other computer and help me? Or like I just need to change or figure out where my bag is. So while that's taking forever, I'm like, all right, whatever. I go on my phone and I figure out it's on the flight today. It was delivered today on a flight. It didn't make it on, but what doesn't make sense is, remember I said there was 2 separate couples and an individual guy? The individual guy and one of the couples got their bags. How is that possible? Why did ours get boarded? And then another couple was with us and they were pissed. Like, this is bullshit. Like, why would they even take them? And how did they were telling us, like, how about the other people? And we were kind of like, yeah, damn it. Wait a minute. You're right. Why did they? So I guess they had room for like 3 more bags and we weren't 3 of the lucky winners. So that was crazy. Fucking, yeah. So to this moment, I don't have my bag, and I was getting so annoyed because it's taking forever. I'm hungry. I'm tired. Didn't even leave the airport till literally like 12:30 last night to get home. Fucking crazy. And I felt bad for who was picking us up. Had to wait forever. So shout out to them. But yeah, so I still don't have my bag. It was delivered to American Airlines. And they're supposed to be shipping it to my house because like, oh, you can just come pick it up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking come back here and come to the airport, and pick it up. Get the hell out of here. Who would want to ever do that? I mean, obviously I want my bag back, but thank God it's only closing there. But that was my travel experience, and why I'll never ever do a connector again if I don't have to. I mean, I was like, oh, what's the big deal? There's not that many direct flight. Oh, whatever, yeah. But did you get any good BBQ from Texas? Danzo, I did. It was just like a local BBQ place. Honestly, it was good. It was really good. I hate to be a complainer, but it was like really heavy on the garlic. And I don't know, for me that was just a little bit too much. So it just felt like I don't know, like it wasn't. I don't really know what I was expecting, but it was good. Like it was slapping, but it was like after I was like, ugh, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, or I just felt a little funky. But it reminds me of my trip to Florida, Astral Nexus. Oh, yo, John, is that when your bag like? Didn't you have to like your bag didn't come or something, right? And then it got shipped to you. I remember you told me that happened to you one time. I thought that was when you said like you went to Puerto Rico or something though. I could be wrong, but yeah, crazy guys. I think that story might be to end it for today. Story time with Tetron. Because I'm getting hungry now, and I should really sleep soon tonight. Because I want to wake up and make a video tomorrow. I really feel like doing stuff in the morning is the wave. Oh, this is a quick. See, this one's like just scrolling thing to pull up these different things. Non-vested shares, 22 versus 23. 5.5 million granted. Taken away from the vested. A ton forfeited. Interesting. From those that were laid off. So I missed a part. Your bag's still on the way, or you got them? And yeah, some people have no limit to garlic and go overboard. Yeah, honestly, Danzo, that's kind of what it felt like, but it was good. Um, Josie, bro. Oh, what up? What up, Josie? But yeah, no. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no. So to answer your question, Danzo, so maybe I didn't even describe it right. I don't know, saying it fast. Because the whole thing just fucking gets me worked up thinking about it. I didn't get my bags yet. And when I looked before, I was like, oh, your bags will be mailed to you by 8 p.m. Or I guess that's what they do, right? Do they mail them? I don't know. They just said they'll be delivered. I do have tracking and everything, and I got it confirmed that they arrived in Newark, so like they have them. So I fucking hope it says it was delivered in Newark. But my fear is like, what if somebody just sees it going around the carousel thing, right? Because they only pick them up after everybody's taken theirs. They see it going around, they're like, huh, that one's gone around like 3 times. Let me just grab this. I mean, if somebody does that, they're a dumbass though. They're about to just get like socks, underwear, jeans, and a couple shirts. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be annoyed because I also have like my work shoes in there, which I don't even know why I fucking brought those. I'm an idiot. I mean, my brown shoes, they're not like super fancy, but like dress casual, so like fucking clowning, yeah. But damn, what a learning experience. I learned a lot about flying. I was sprinting through the airport. Um, Doing GameStop research though a little bit. That's where I was kind of checking out some old DD, and I was like pulling up some different things. And if you guys know the game Binding of Isaac, I used to play that when I was younger a lot for like a short period of time. And I used to play with my cousins even like not even too long ago. Like when we link up at family parties, we're like, yo, let's fire up the Binding of Isaac because you can actually play 4 players like on the newest one I think, or what one of them. But basically, yeah, I was just like playing that a lot of the flight, and then in between, like, I do a little GameStop research. So yeah, I'd love to have an offline GameStop game to play offline next time. That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, anything else with GameStop? Last minute details here. Yeah, these are definitely some interesting links I'm gonna have to dig into. It's like this is interesting. The case study. Oh, I never fully finished the New York Times. Did I? Oh, let's see. The airport is bag holding. Facts, expert. Facts. Oh my god. And you know what's crazy, guys? I never even was on a plane for the ever until this time, like 1 year ago. I had never even flown before. Isn't that crazy? But honestly, it's like made me like want to do it so much now. Like really traveling, and I was trying to do a vlog type of thing actually, like just messing around. But like I don't know, things just got like busy and shit like that. So like I couldn't really do anything. Oh yo, what up? What up? Shout out to you, John and Joey, watching the stream. Much appreciated. But yeah, honestly, yeah, never doing a connector again if possible. And yeah, just learning about flying and definitely want to keep flying. Traveling is such a wave. It really is. And I was trying to do a vlog, but it's just too much happening too fast and like I don't know, just also the delays, frustrations, and like the whole trip was fast because we were just like visiting my friend, did some things, we got there late Thursday, leave by Sunday afternoon. So you can only do so much, but it was definitely cool to just like saw the Alamo, just kind of chilled around Texas. Got a lot of good Mexican food or like the one place we went to was like a hole in the wall quesadilla place. Gas. $4. And when I say gas, I mean nice, like really good. $4, per quesadilla. We got two each. Didn't even eat them. They're huge. So good. Meat, everything. Got the potatoes, all that just stuffed in this like flat and just flattened like in this quesadilla. So fucking good. And like so authentic. And also, what was it? It was a chain place, but it was pretty good. Taco key taco. Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. Texas taco places. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. I think my friend had texted to me. Texas taco place. What the hell is it? Taco something? I don't know, but it was really good. It was a chain, and that was amazing too. It's totally slipping. I can't find it. I thought I had the name on here, but that place was good too. So that was fun. And good food. Yeah, good barbecue. Can't go wrong with that. But dude, it really the myth is not a myth. Everything is bigger in Texas. It's kind of crazy. It really is kind of crazy. I feel like everything's huge, and I got like a shot glass that said that from my girlfriend as a souvenir because it's true, Everything's bigger in Texas. Even like we were laughing like in the restaurant, like when we went to get like barbecue food, right? Like we had like brisket and sausage, a little bit of everything. We just got like the big meat platter. Um, Everything was fucking not like the food, but like the baskets were huge. Like the water cups, like gigantic. Like just mad funny. Everything was like bigger in Texas, literally. And it was really cool, just like driving through like the land. When we were going one place, just kind of wandering about. And the highway system there is very interesting. It's very strategically made. I think that's an interesting thing. Like it's easy to like make a U-turn. Oh, smack my mic. Easy to make a U-turn to the other side. So that was pretty convenient. But yeah, to finish up the stream, I'm gonna finish reading this, see if there's any other minor details, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. In 1987, there was far less competition among exchanges. If a stock's primary exchange halted trading, everyone followed. At each primary exchange, there were people with the responsibility of making markets and keeping them orderly. The specialists at the New York Stock Exchange and market makers at NASDAQ for institutional size orders, the big brokers like Goldman and Sullivan, had stepped in to fill the role, which is now as providing liquidity by buying them when investors want to sell and vice versa. There were abuses. NASDAQ market makers traded by telephone then, and on October 19th, a lot of phones went unanswered. But generally, the system worked. An individual investor seeking to raise cash could put an order to sell 100 shares of stock at the market, secure in the knowledge it would be filled at a reasonable price. Now, liquidity is usually provided by traders operating extremely fast computers, known as high frequency traders. In normal markets, they do a better job than the old systems did, but no one has the responsibility to make markets at critical times. When things get rough, those traders may vanish. Individuals are advised not to trust the market and instead to put in limit orders. Specifically, they will not sell for less than a certain amount. Excess belief in computers has done far more damage in markets. This is what this individual says that wrote this article. It played, and think what you want, but some really, really interesting points in this if you want to scroll back if you missed it, but really, really interesting. Or, honestly, I should drop you guys the link if anybody's interested. I don't know if it'll delete it automatically, but that is the link if you guys are curious or want to further read it yourself at some point. Played a major role in creating the financial crisis when everyone relied on computer-generated and certified models to forecast things such as likelihood of mortgage defaults. The people who originally developed the models had warned there was a small chance they would not work, but that was forgotten. Had any smart humans been reviewing each new transaction in detail, problems could have been uncovered before they devastated the financial system. But no one, not the banks that put the transactions together, not the rating agencies that certify them, not the monoline insurance companies that guarantee them, and certainly not the institutional investors who put up the cash, thought they could afford to be vigilant. On October 20th, 1987, the Wall Street Journal quoted George Stigler, a University of Chicago economist and Nobel laureate, I guess that's follow-up? I don't know, in a front page article. I don't think the economy looks like it did in 1929, he said. The most violent and urgent of factors in the Great Crash was the collapse of the banking system. That can't happen anymore because of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and other safeguards. He explained that deposit insurance and limits on leverage meant you won't get the pyramiding effect that cracked the financial system in 1929. Decades later, we did get such a pyramiding effect, and Great Depression too was avoided only through giant bailouts and unprecedented moves by the Federal Reserve. The substitution of computer speed for human judgment was far from the only reason it happened, but it played a role. That's a cold finish. This is a rare, good New York Times article. Wow, I think that's a good way to end it, guys. I mean, a little bit of airport stories, a little bit of backtracking on some old DD and looking into things. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That is for sure. But I really hope everyone out there has a good night. Appreciate you being here. I covered in the beginning if you guys didn't catch it, but I'll say it one more time. GameStop opened this store in Italy. I really feel like it's potentially something they're going to do in remodeling some of their stores here and elsewhere internationally, as they do have a lot of leases that are going to be up this year. So in my eyes, it would make sense to identify the stores you want to close and then identify the stores you want to extend leases to then make upgrades and renovate specific stores based on data they've accumulated over time now through new management, implementing retail technology, and just keeping an overall view on everything. So they're opening this 3-level store, which is essentially broken down into 3 categories: pro gaming, pro streamer, pro home, just home. But essentially, one level will just be the classic GameStop that you imagine now, how it kind of is. There'll be another level more relative to board games, I think potentially kids, also collectibles, and then the other level would be for this 270-degree LED wall created it for an immersive experience. Things such as AI, I forgot what exactly it was. Yeah, interactive opportunities ranging from test areas to virtual reality experiences. So really, what it sounds like to me is that's to bring in more foot traffic, and then the collectibles and home items, those are generally higher margin items. So that will help them in just creating stronger free cash flow down the run, stronger profitability, and just pushing the business forwards as a whole. So I'm gonna see if I can find images of this real quick. Or let's see. Yeah, probably not. I don't know. If anybody could find images anywhere, it'd be dope. Add in some AI bots. Honestly, XBit, why not, yo? At this point, just have them, like, when you're in the grocery store and you ever see one of those, like, robot things or something like that. Maybe you could do something like that. That'd be crazy. Is that me, Mario? Oh, yeah, Mario's probably huge over there, yeah. It's the Italian boy himself. But, yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there. I really hope everyone out there has a great night. Take care. Thank you for watching.